Well, it was inevitable, wasn't it, really? You can't be housing secretary and avoid £40,000 worth of stamp duty. It's just as simple as that. So, in the last few minutes, Angela Rayner was gone, but not just as housing secretary. Now, more significantly, she's gone as deputy leader of the Labour Party and deputy prime minister. That means there will be an internal election within the Labour Party, and you're going to see the hard left of Labour shouting very, very loud.
This disturbing video has been spreading like wildfire on social media, showing two girls yelling at a man, filming them as they move around frantically, and one even pulling out two weapons that she flashes at him. The girl, who was later arrested, is being praised online as a hero.
Now, 3 undersea cables in the Red Sea have been cut. As a result, global internet and telecommunication traffic of Asia, including India, Europe, and the Middle East, has been rerouted. The Red Sea is the chief target for the Yemen's Houthi rebels.
Hospitals across France have reportedly been told to prepare for a potential armed conflict by next year, with the government urging health providers to be ready. According to French media, in a leaked letter sent to health agencies across the country, the government says hospitals should be prepared for a major military engagement as soon as March 2026.
Wow, we're really bright. Hey guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We're your hosts, Leah and Michelle. Leah, can you do the intro? Because I want to fix the fact that we look like shining angels.
Oh,
look at it.
Maybe it just is.
Maybe it's
Maybe it just is. Maybe we are.
Hallelujah. It's not that bright out right now. Like, we're not actually in the sun. We're under an umbrella. We're outside. You know why? Because it is a nice day here in Ohio.
So I think it feels like you got the volume fixed, but just a minute ago, like, I was hearing birds chirp in my ear from the microphone, but I was not upset because I told her it felt like I was like at some sort of nature conservatory. Toot, 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 toot. You know, so if you hear some birds in the background, those are brought to you by us on purpose.
That's a little better.
And to bring you nature, you know?
It is not brought to you
by
us.
We're going to have a waterfall noises here in a minute.
Just we're not getting any of
that.
that.
No, it's great weather. And if you guys didn't see, we were chopping some wood yesterday. It was fun.
Leah, how much chuck can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? So I have to say this. I have to say this.
Chop wood all day, man.
Because I don't know how many of the people that were leaving these comments are regular viewers of ours. Okay. The men were so supportive, but here's what I love. And I want to actually go read this comment because it's actually really good tips.
I don't want any tips.
So that's what I was getting at. Okay. So
just let me chop my wood, dude.
But everybody has
their own way
that they do it well, and they want to share it with you.
Okay, great.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the tips, these were excellent tips, by the way.
Okay.
I'm not against them. We actually usually do them. Let me tell you what was happening. It was just a random, like, Patriot Gallery's trying to clean up the yard. Leah goes out there. She just fires up the chainsaw real quick. And so one of the tips was to have a wheelbarrow right there. Okay. So that as you are chopping the wood, take your wood, put it in the wheelbarrow. We've been chopping wood for 20 years. You can't see my muscles, right? Oh, you can. Look at that. Yes, you can. Look at it. Oh, wow. It's so great. It's for show. It's all for show. Look kind of girly sometimes. We're really just rough and tumble females. Okay. So oh, no, you do not.
Rumble.
All right, I'm gonna, hang on. It's Getter and Rumble.
So goodbye, Getter. Just hello, Rumble.
But Rumble.
Let's just try. Come back.
Oh, so I went ahead and dropped Getter. I went ahead and dropped Getter. I am going to do something that I rarely ever do. I'm going to give everyone on Rumble permission to go and watch us on YouTube today, because anytime we do a show outside live, Rumble drops considerably. And I know that the live chat on Rumble is way better than it is over on YouTube. Love you, YouTube. But if you would like to have an uninterrupted stream, YouTube Resistance Chicks Church will probably not drop. It is a lot of extra effort to set the show up outside. It does. but it's worth it because it's worth it. It's so nice outside. So we thank you that you guys are very helpful. So anyway, back to the chopping the wood. We have been chopping wood for like 20 years.
Long time.
Very long time. I love chopping wood. So imagine, if you had been doing a thing for 20 years, but because you're a female and a dude watches you do it and they're like, I think you could do it better after 20 years of doing it, and then they give you tips, you kind of go,
no, but that's when you have to be, that's when I've learned this.
What have you learned?
If the person is genuine and a nice person,
and they all are 100,000,000%, and they were applauding you,
men need to do that. They need to.
Yes.
So you just receive it.
You do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I will receive your tips. I'm better at receiving tips for a thing that I haven't been doing for a long time. Like if I don't know how to do it and a man comes and tells me how to do it, I'm like, thank you. Because we're sitting on this amazing deck because our friend Tim, you're staring off over here.
Yeah. Cause I'm thinking like, this is one of my weaknesses and I have worked really hard on it.
Most everyone was going, wow, Leah, you're amazing.
No. Like go ahead. Tell us the tips.
Go ahead and tell us your tips.
I didn't hear the tips.
No,
you tell me the tips. What were the tips?
Well, one of them was from our friend Kent, Candace's husband. And he says, when you're chopping, walk in a circle as you're going.
I didn't have room.
Right. We didn't have room. So we, and then they were talking about having a wider platform.
Like a bigger base?
So here's the thing I have about that tip. So a lot of people have a set place, and we did for a long time. It was down here, like literally, 25 feet away from my hand. And we had it was really big. Okay. But here's the problem. When you've been doing it for 20 years, your base often rots and dies, and you have to get another one. And so that was an impromptu base.
That was the best base we had around.
Exactly. So you
don't go to the store and buy a wood chopping base.
It shows your ability to just be impromptu. Like I'll use anything. But they were trying to it was like lower your base a little bit, make it a little bit wider, those kinds of
So you had to go chop a tree down for that.
100%. But like I said, we had one that was sitting out here for years, but because it got used so many times,
a little bit lower
died.
would have been suffice, but it was there. And I will say this:
there's Kent right there. There's Kent. He goes, no, it wasn't just you. No, Kent. There was another one. And I love that Kent is here. He's one of my favorites.
So the walking around thing is really fun.
He says, I was applauding. Pardon my lack of tenderness. No, your tips were super great.
No,
Kent.
That's a good tip for everybody else. We live on a property that unfortunately has no flat ground.
No, it's so true.
Like the only flat ground we have, we built and put our pool there.
We did.
So we have an unfortunate deal where everything is like on a slope.
Right.
Everything is on a slope.
I don't think anybody was giving you a hard time about being on a slope.
No, but
where we were at up by the sawmill.
By the sawmill.
You can't, like Kent's tip, which was a brilliant tip, by the way, to walk around in circles.
But that is a really good tip.
We were right by the sawmill, and the sawmill is one of the only other flat places, hence why the sawmill is there. Okay, like our whole yard is a sloping, downward whatever.
We have to build all flat places.
They
even built the house.
This is what I would say, Kent. You are there were a lot of other comments.
Mm-hmm.
Yours were on this, my scale of 1 to 10 on being offended was a 0.
So no, I do like tips like that actually, because other people watching, like I would say wear ear protection with a chainsaw and always wear eye protection and probably don't wear shorts.
100%. And
I give myself my own tips.
So I would take tips from any man that is a man's man.
And
like Kent's the man's man of all men's men. He goes coyote hunting like every other day. I don't know where they're getting all these coyotes, but he's always posting pictures of them. He is a man's man. So Kent, you are allowed to leave the tips.
And he's very kind.
And Kent is very, very kind. He goes, I was impressed. You're awesome.
You don't have to say that. It's fine.
But I titled the video Lumberlia, because I wanted to say Lumberjane instead of Lumberjack, but I was like, no, we have a little alliteration there by Lumberlia.
That's fun.
And you did a really great job. And you kept going.
I haven't chopped wood in a while. I was bracing for people to tell me what, because
there were men.
I never took I will tell you this, I've never taken a chopping class.
Right, exactly. So speaking of our experience, and we're going to get to the world news here. Speaking of our experience as females in the wood realm, we've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again. We are like the old people that have the same stories. So 2004 or 5, something like that. We were on this property. This goes back, I told you, 20. It's 20 years, literally. And we're on this property. And we're starting to clear the land.
We've never done anything at all.
A bajillion honeysuckles, a lot of dead trees, and we're just doing it with like a shovel and kind of anything that we could find, a handsaw, like anything we could find. So our other uncle stops by and he gives us a Maddox, which is an axe on one. And ours, sometimes it has like, it's not a pickaxe. It doesn't have the pick on the other end. It has like a flat. So it's like this. Okay. And so this end of it, you can turn and like really pull, right?
And he says, this is a stump remover.
And we're like, oh, wow, great. Thanks.
And a 14-inch electric chainsaw.
14-inch electric chainsaw.
So if you didn't know this, an electric chainsaw needs a what? Extension cord.
Right. We didn't have any kind of idea of gauges of extension cords, lengths. 14 inches this big. You have no idea the trees. We would use that puppy to get 28-inch trees, right? Or more sometimes.
So, and sometimes we'd have 2 like 100-foot extension cords, because
like
our
the little
girlfriends,
ones.
Because women were never taught, like I was never taught how to use a chainsaw. I literally read the instructions that came with the chainsaw. That's what I wanted.
That's what I was getting to. Because
I looked at the picture.
There's such a thing as an over and undercut, right? And
yeah, you just don't like most people.
So let's say you felled the tree.
No, but most people would think you just take a chainsaw and you just cut it across.
Oh, right.
Like that is a normal assumption.
Right. That is not how
but there's actual physics to this.
100%. Have you seen the ones? I need to find a video right now of the guys that it almost feels like it has to be AI, but they do a plunge cut. Those are very hard to do. They do a plunge cut into the tree like this. Okay. And then like this on the top. And then when they cut it so that the tree, so that it uses that square that you've cut,
a square
or rectangle to have the tree fall exactly where you want it. You've never seen that.
Well, no. I mean, the instructions on the paper have always been, you make a wedge like this. Yeah. You make a cut like this. You make a cut like this. And then you make another cut on the other side at the top. And then hopefully if the tree, and this doesn't work if like the tree is like leaning in the other direction, right? Hopefully the tree will go where you want it. It doesn't always do that. I mean, we had our friend Jim over and we were cutting down a tree and it was not going to go where we wanted it to go. And we started to freak out. So we had to throw a rope over it real quick and he had to tie his truck to it like 200 feet away. Like we didn't have a way to get to it. So like he had to, yeah. So that was like, because we didn't realize the tree was actually leaning. Like if you got to use, like a lot of guys use chainsaws for trees, but if you don't have ropes, then you are taking lives into your hands. If there's a house, which there was behind that tree.
I'm not finding them right now, but they're like, maybe this is the key notch technique is what it's called. I think
something new. I never heard of it.
I'm going to grab this. You guys, this is going to, I don't know that this is it. This should be it. And we're going to watch this together because this was not part of the world news show that we were going to do. Hang on. Let me
we have a world news today. You know what else was plunge cutted? The cables, some undersea cables, some Red Sea cables, internet cables were cut. Yeah, people in India lost connection to the internet and some others. We're going to talk about that today. We're also going to talk about if you guys remember the picture of the young girl in Scotland.
Maybe that was, I've seen it, that was like It's called the key notch technique.
I don't think I'm ever going to do that.
No, I'm never going to do that.
Okay.
But I think it's fascinating. I think that's so cool because one of the biggest issues that we've had is trying to cut a tree down and having it fall in the right place. We have fences all over. There's always something that a tree can land on here on our property that we wouldn't want it to land on. And you never know if you guys have never felled a tree before, which we have felled like, I don't know, at least 100 of various sizes.
I'm not saying that we're professionals at it. So
we're not professionals.
Take your trees down.
But what I'm saying is, like,
we've done a lot.
That's super cool. Kent says, I love a show off. He goes, skill, that's cut relief. He says, I've been there, it's slopped. If you aren't holding, you'll fall out of your truck. So that was a fun little commercial break. Somebody else sent me a commercial break I have to pull up today, which I will go ahead and get that. But that was a way off topic intro to our show. Thank you for sticking with us. And I think Rumble is still with us, so you guys are amazing. Let me see. Waste of gas, says Philip. It's not if you need the tree to fall exactly where you need to fall it. I will tell you the one thing that we are terrible at, and I mean terrible, probably because we don't have the proper tool, but you'd think as girls that used to play softball and are amazing at softball, like we're really good. That's the one thing I can say we're really good at. We can't seem to get the rope up in the tree.
That one's
We're
tough.
so bad at it. Like
that's tough.
I'm never going to be a cowgirl that ropes a cow or
Don't say that.
I'm not good at it. Like whenever we try to throw a rope up into a tree, it takes us an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
That one is, yeah. I'll take tips for that. I think there's a special tool. I knew a tree guy once. There's a special tool that he had.
We don't have it. We don't
have
it.
It was a lineman's tool.
You're kidding.
It was a lineman's tool. He had this old pole and it was amazing. It was like super long and you could get the rope around it. It was like this amazing tool.
Okay, so in speaking of being tough girls, let's make that transition. Talking about the different shows the different topics we have today. We have not yet covered really the two girls is Lola and Ruby.
Yeah.
Sisters in Scotland.
Yes.
Bonnie lasses there are.
Yes.
Defending themselves from the migrants. These beautiful lassies. Then they got in trouble. It was actually reported that it was fake, essentially fake news. It was not. So Leah had us put in the title that it's not in the title, but in the description, it's justice for these two because this migrant, I don't even care to know his name, but he does have one here. Let's go ahead and read it off because we're going to get to this story. Fatos Ali Dumana has been charged by the police Scotland with assaulting a minor. So we're going to actually play this video where it breaks down very well kind of what happened. And these girls were essentially, at first they were getting in trouble. Weren't they arrested?
The girl, well, she's got a
12.
machete and an axe.
First of all, it's a large knife. It's not a machete.
So no, she had him. It was a machete and an axe. Like, so you're really not supposed to have those in the UK.
No, you're not. But you know what?
Yeah.
God bless her. So the memes that have come out, because of this. Let me just drop this one in right here. Look at this. I'm throwing this in there. Boom. There she is. So that's Braveheart in the background. So I think that this is amazing. The memes and you know what though, like you can literally replay the video, you can see the fear in her face, but like this Scottish.
So I'm gonna
fierceness.
These young girls swear like sailors. So if you have kids,
well, they're Scottish,
and you don't want them to hear swear words, then just don't.
Do you have all your tabs up?
Yeah,
I don't have them up.
I have most of them. We are gonna play this clip because I want you to see what was happening. So a lot of information. First of all, like Elon Musk tweeted it out. And so did Tommy Robinson. This girl she had this axe, had this machete behind her back, and she was saying she's supposedly.
This isn't the clip that you sent me though, is it?
No, I've got the.
I like the one. No, I don't. I want to play the one that you sent me from YouTube because that guy breaks it down even better. Let's start. He breaks
it down.
One.
Yeah,
Yelling with thick Scottish accent.
Okay.
So these two young girls are trying to ward off what is this migrant. At the time of finding this video, we didn't know if the migrant, what country this migrant came from. The Scottish police and all these
Scottish accents, but at the beginning,
all of these politicians and people were like, you need to stop spreading misinformation.
Yeah.
That what you're seeing on this video of these two girls trying to defend themselves, you know, they're just bad kids. The girls are liars, came from a bad family, all these things.
Unbelievable.
Even though this Bulgarian migrant that is filming them, that's kind of coming at them, is known as the Bulgarian gypsy in Scotland.
Wow.
And he runs like some sort of pimping ring.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. I did not do this story because I wasn't sure. I did not want to. This is not we have a show that says it's not a conspiracy theory if it's actually the truth. So I try to bring to you guys things that are fully vetted.
Right.
I could not fully vet it. When the government is saying, you know, it's misinformation, I'm going to wait and see. The Bulgarian migrant filming this girl has since been arrested.
Phenomenal.
Okay. Even though they were basically saying misinformation is going around. This is a false accusation. He has been arrested.
Social media, showing two girls yelling at a man, filming them as they move around frantically, and one even pulling out two weapons that she flashes at him. The girl, who was later arrested, is being praised online as a hero for standing up for herself, but the question remains, what actually happened? Here's everything we know about the incident. It is hard to make out exactly what the girls are saying in the clip because they are frantically yelling with thick Scottish accents. But at the beginning of the video, the younger girl seemingly accuses the man of treating her inappropriately in some way, before she hurls the accusation, "Fucking kid bashers. Get the f*** away from us," the taller one pleads.
Kid bashers!
At that point, the man filming says, "Show the knife, show the knife."
Show the knife, show the knife.
To which the younger girl reaches behind her back and pulls out what appears to be a knife and a hatchet in either hand.
Show the knife.
The taller girl yells, "Don't f***ing touch my little sister, she's f***ing 12.
Don't f***ing touch my little sister, she is f***ing 12!
Wait till I f***ing catch you," she says while pointing the knife at the man.
Wait till I f***ing catch you!
At the end of the video, the man says something that sounds like "Malata, Malata,"
Maratha, Maratha.
which does not appear to be an official word in any language, and the meaning of which remains unclear. Two other people can be seen watching the incident unfold in the video, a person in a pink shirt, and the foot of someone wearing black and white Adidas slides. As the video has been spreading, rumors have swirled about what led to the confrontation, which played out around 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, August 23rd, when police received a call about a female youth with a bladed weapon in St. Anne Lane, Dundee. Several police cars reportedly responded, and the 12-year-old girl was then arrested and charged, which has outraged many people on social media as a gross injustice. One of the most common threads of speculation is that the girls were protecting themselves from the man, whom people online have accused without proof of being an illegal migrant. One of the most popular posts on X, which has been viewed over 23 million times, states, "Little girls scream at a migrant recording them before brandishing an axe and a knife to warn him off. What is happening to our country?" The owner of X himself, Elon Musk, contributed to the unsubstantiated narrative with a repost on August 26th, which linked to a video with the text, "What type of country allows foreigners to rape and torture thousands of their children? Then they arrest the girls who carry protection for themselves." As that incendiary version of the story has made its way across social media, images of the girl brandishing the knife and hatchet have been turned into a meme, in which she's made out to be a viral icon or a folk hero, even being compared to Scottish rebel William Wallace, and being called Dundee's Braveheart. Fans can even buy a t-shirt, but it turns out the narrative playing out online is far from what happened in reality.
So,
that
now
is
this
because
video
according to
is probably
Scottish
not-
police,
It's okay to
the
tell.
only one who did anything wrong is the 12-year-old girl. According to authorities, it was the girls who approached both the man
This
who
is
was
a leak.
filming the
This is
video
a-
and the woman
this
he was
video is
with,
not
not the
accurate.
other way around. A statement from the chief superintendent, Nicola Russell, read, "We are aware of misinformation being shared on social media
gonna get
in
to the
relation
other
to an
half of it.
incident where a Bulgarian couple were approached by youths in St. Anne Lane, Dundee, on Saturday, August 23rd, 2025. And according to the BBC, no one else, outside of the 12-year-old, was believed to have been arrested or wanted in connection with the incident." The Daily Mail has identified the individual taking the video as 21-year-old Fatos Ali Dumana. a family man who says he and his wife legally moved from Bulgaria to the UK 4 years ago. Now he's speaking out with his version of the story. Dumana told the outlet that he and his wife were on their way to a shop when the young girl started messing with him, something he says was captured by the store's surveillance cameras. He also told the Daily Mail that there was one more person also who told them, the police, she was attacking me and calling me a f***ing migrant. I'm not an illegal migrant. I have done nothing wrong. I have not done anything. I did not hit them. I am a human, not an animal. In fact, the Courier reports that police confirmed to the outlet their investigation into the incident had concluded. Humza Yousaf, a former First Minister of Scotland and current Liberal member of the Scottish Parliament, reacted to the report with a post that read, "Who could have guessed the far right were full of bullshit?" His wife, Nadia El Nakla, who is also the equality spokesperson for the Dundee SNP group, told the Courier that it is also clear that elements of the far right are attempting to hijack this incident to spread a racist, anti-immigration agenda. This is both dangerous and divisive, and it threatens the cohesion of our communities. Here in Dundee, we will not allow this to take root. The facts of the incident have been provided by our police service. These should be trusted, not the disinformation being pushed by those who wish to vilify asylum seekers and immigrants.
Now, okay, so this is Michelle. I need you to go.
I'm surprised that's from the New York Post.
So I need you to go to my bookmarks actually because I didn't have these three up, showing who
this family man is.
Fatos Ali.
He's
Dumana
a family
is.
man. Look at how
So the New York Post needs to revise its storytelling because that was storytelling.
He's family man.
There is such a push to control the narrative that even when you can obviously see that these little girls are being distressed, that they were not randomly going after some guy because he's some sort of innocent migrant. You can tell by their body language, by their reactions,
okay, I got
by
the bookmarks up,
by their fervent scroll down.
Okay,
and there's going to be 3 posts at the bottom. Okay, there we go.
So I can just grab this one.
Yeah, you can tell by the way these girls are screaming that they were not like going after some sort of, oh, look, I'm going to go after migrants today. Right. But that's the narrative. Okay. Go lie down.
You could put them inside for just a little bit while Matt was working.
Okay.
Okay. So let me pull this up and then we'll.
Molly,
Matt, we're gonna put them inside for a little bit.
Molly.
All right, here we go.
She's fine. There, she sees him. She knows who it is.
Okay, so here's the pictures.
Okay, so here you have, this is the migrant. Now, I want to tell you first that he has been arrested. Okay, so a man and a woman have been charged by police after an incident which saw a 12-year-old girl. She was charged first.
So wait, I've had this pulled up. Do you want me to pull something else up instead?
Well, I'm going to read the article. You can show the pictures of him. This is who he is.
Okay.
So the 12-year-old girl was charged for brandishing the axe and the machete. The youngster is said to have been in possession of the weapons in the street of Lochi near the Dundee area of Dundee last month, with footage of the incident we saw circulating. Thursday of this week, the police force said that the decision has been taken to charge a man and a woman with the event of the day in question. It says that the Police Scotland spokesperson said, following extensive inquiries, a man and woman have been charged in connection with an incident at St. Anne Lane in Dundee.
So this is him,
which
Ali
was reported.
Dumana, a self-styled gangster gypsy from Bulgaria who threatens little girls in Scotland. He is the creep that filmed the now viral video.
So, yes, exactly. So
he looks like such a family man here, doesn't he?
He does.
Shaking his little hips.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's a gangster. There's one more you can bring up.
No, that's for Steve Furtick.
So did you go through all the pictures?
I didn't do this next one. No, okay, this one I haven't done yet.
Did you do those 4 pictures?
I did the 4 pictures, yeah. So the money, we'll get the money rolling here. This is so funny. Again, can we all just remember that we were told a second ago that he's a family man?
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at, here he is flipping off the camera with some sort of mask on his face. And here he is with another guy tossing money on the floor, like to show how much money he has.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me tell you Michelle's version of the events. Here's what I think happened, because we grew up in a smallish town. At the time it was small anyway. And we, your neighborhood kids, and you walk around and you know who the creeps are. You know who the creeps are. You talk about who the creeps are. You just know, stay away from that guy. He's creepy. You know what I mean? So imagine that if this guy really is some sort of pimp or something like that. And it gets around that he might be a trafficker,
There's one more I just tweeted out. You can find.
And these little girls know about it, and they're going to be carrying in your bookmarks or on your.
I just retweeted.
Okay, and they're going to be carrying a knife and a little axe. They call it an axe. It's just a hatchet. But I'm just sitting here going like, hang on a second. You would know. These little girls would know, and so their reaction to me seems like super appropriate for this circumstance. Like, am I crazy? No, I'm not. I think that this is definitely an appropriate response if you know that this guy is this kind of guy. All right, let's see. Apply. Here we go. So we got a video block for some sort of Muslim song the other day.
So obviously people who
Hang
rain,
on.
make the money
why
rain.
Why are they counting so much money and posting all of these videos about their money for the podcast listeners?
So it looks like there's a document here that I'm reading, and I do have this up in my tweets. There was a head injury, a concussion to the child, I guess.
You're kidding.
Yeah. So this isn't, yeah.
So
that's why he's charged.
Is it this one or another one? It's one more?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to grab this so you guys can see this. So he's literally been charged. Charged against the little girls?
Yeah, he's been charged for attacking them.
That's amazing.
That's
I know, but I'm just saying, that part has not come out, that there was a head injury. I'm hearing about this along with the rest of our viewers.
Well, yeah, that was the whole point, that he had attacked one of the other girls.
No, I got that he attacked, but that there was a head injury sustained.
Yeah, exactly.
You can touch somebody and it's an attack.
Sure.
But if there was an actual head injury sustained, that's amazing. That's bad, but what happened? So this version of events that we were just told a second ago from the New York Post of all things, that to me is the most convoluted, twisted story. And you believed it. Raise your hand if when you were listening, you're kind of going, well, I mean, maybe these little girls were at fault. Maybe they were just bad kids.
Yeah.
And then they blame the far right.
Yeah, I'm going to try to see if I can't find, there is one, there's a Govt Go for these girls.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so
let me go check out some comments here from you guys. I want to know what you guys say about this. Okay, over on YouTube, nothing. You guys have nothing to say on YouTube about this. I don't.
So justice for Lola and Ruby. While walking in their local community, Lola 12 and Ruby 13 and Maya 13 were accosted by two adult foreign nationals. The foreign nationals were directing inappropriate sexual remarks at Lola. When Lola and her sister told the migrants to leave them alone and go away, Ruby was viciously attacked by the adult female, yanked to the ground by her hair, and both migrants proceeded to kick Ruby in the head on the ground.
Get out.
Seeing her sister being beaten senselessly on the ground, Lola retrieved an axe and a knife and bravely scared off the attackers, saving her sister. This is when the foreign national decided to film the aftermath, which went viral on social media. In the video, you can hear Lola telling the attackers to go away and leave her sister alone. Ruby was hospitalized after the attack with a severe concussion, a tennis ball-sized lump on the back of her head, as well as lots of bruises. That's why the woman was arrested too, because she beat up the girl. But they were both attacked. They were both arrested. Okay, because how bad would it look if just the woman was arrested? Unfortunately, rather than arrest the attackers, the local police decided to arrest Lola instead. And then there's a campaign on Govt Go, justice for Lola and Ruby. And yeah, so you can just, people are giving money, every day. It's raised about 93,000 pounds.
So it's interesting. Okay. So I want to get this right. Lola is the younger one with the axe and the hatchet, or the hatchet and the big little
Ruby
knife.
was 13.
So Ruby is the older one, and
attacked.
you can actually see the pain on her face in that video that we shared. So that was the aftermath. So the little sister, who is literally just like Michelle, because now of course you wouldn't be weak enough, but these are kids. Yeah. But I'm the one that would be 1,000,000%. She went inside to go and get a knife and the hatchet.
Something just to defend themselves.
Okay. So that is so that to me is a whole nother
her
story.
Sister being beaten senselessly to the ground, she didn't know what to do. She went and got some weapons.
And that's where you see
and
her
said,
coming
leave
out
her alone.
out from wherever she went and got them.
And she ran. I'm gonna cry.
Leave my sister alone.
What would you do? What else would you do? Don't you have a right to try to defend somebody from killing
blanking kid bashers? She says bashers.
If somebody was kicked in the head, don't you have a right to try to defend them?
But you're not allowed to own those.
This is Scotland, by the way.
It's Scotland.
If you don't have a right to defend yourself from migrants, Bulgarian gypsies, you guys know they're a thing, right?
Yep.
They don't. They all they do is crime. No offense. You know, you don't want to be racist, but they're just criminals. And people will tell you that gypsies have a way of life. It's a crime. It's a crime. It's like saying, if you call yourself a gypsy, you're basically like saying I'm part of the mafia.
Yeah. So this is givesendgo.com/Lola and Ruby with a Y. Lola, Lola and Ruby. Lola and Ruby. I'm going to drop this in the chat just in case anybody. I don't know that. I guess you can donate across the pond.
Sure, you can. It's Give Send Go.
Okay, that's cool.
So this particular Twitter account says, just heard from the family that the gypsy gangster Migrant has been now been charged for assaulting a minor, and people better start deleting tweets.
100%. Aunt Gail says it is so amazing how the truth gets twisted. And Barry says, well, not really. In the UK, the MSM lied through their back teeth. Gio says, well, that was the New York Post. Self-defense is almost illegal here in Scotland. Thank you for speaking up. We've got a Scotsman in the chat here. You're just supposed to take it. And if the offender is foreign, the police always side with the parasites. Sherry says, another attack on the children. They keep blaming children and saying they are behaving badly. Barry says, that's the bit I never understood with this story. The MSM stated the girl got the hatchet and the knife from her backpack. She never had a backpack.
Aesthetica on Twitter says this is how I found this week. Important update from the families of Lola, Ruby, and Maya. This will be part 3 of my reporting on this incident. Finally, we have concrete answers and definitive proof of what happened August 23rd. If you've been following my reporting on this incident, you've gotten a very different story than what was originally told by the Scotland police, by the migrants in question, by the media. The fact that these migrants, not just both, I mean, I can understand some EU migrants ending up, but Muslim migrants ending up in Scotland.
It's unbelievable.
You know, it's like a country made up of a bunch of little islands too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you end up migrating there? I can see you migrating from Ohio to Indiana. You know, or even cross country in the United States.
Oh my gosh,
but I can't see you getting all the way from the Middle East to Scotland, of all places.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people live in these little tiny towns, and now they're taken over by these radical Muslims, which is so weird that they would want to take over Scotland, of all places. But you know what? It's because I really think that deep down inside, everybody wants things green, and it's green there.
So maybe I think to me, it's demonic. And you take something that's beautiful and wonderful, and you just want to absolutely destroy it. The devil comes to steal and kill and destroy. Full stop.
The claim by the Scotland police was that the CCTV footage, which conveniently has now gone missing. Oh, so here we have this gangster kid who, you know what? Gangster kid, you need to go home. I don't care if you got here legally. You can't run. What kind of criminal enterprise are you running where you're making it rain? Okay. Anybody who's making it rain, you're making it illegally. Okay. You're making it illegally. You don't have a job at Costco
He's
making it rain.
He's 20 stinking one.
He's 21. He's not pushing carts making it rain.
You're doing something illegal.
You are only doing something illegal. And so I want them to not. Here's the thing. This is what the Scottish police will probably do. we'll charge you on this, but they're not going to investigate this gypsy ring because they're probably paid off, and probably gypsy ring police officers are in on it. Just like with the grooming gangs.
Oh, 100%.
Where the police are in on it, especially you get the Muslims on the police force, you get the Pakistanis on the police force, and they start to cover it up. So now this is how I know that somebody in the police force is covering this up, is in on it. Like they're probably making it rain too.
But
okay,
the story has officially shifted, which is great news, and he has been arrested.
But he originally said, oh, as you can see on the CCTV footage, that she came after me.
Yeah, maybe she, no. But so that would mean that the CCTV footage is just from when she comes after him.
No, that's not CCTV footage. That's his own camera.
No, I thought he was saying there was CCTV footage.
He is. I'm trying to get to that point, that it has conveniently gone missing. So his narrative, he stole the narrative.
Okay.
And he says, if you look at the CCTV footage, you'll see that she came after me. So he's already got his best foot forward. And then conveniently, which is how we all know that somebody on the police force is in the gypsy force, because it has now conveniently gone missing.
But my point was, even if it hadn't conveniently gone missing, they could splice it so that it was just her coming after him.
Yeah.
To defend her sister.
Right. Prove that there were no crimes committed other than possession of offensive weapons charge against Lola. We now have definitive proof that this is a lie, and that the Scotland police have been engaged in a cover-up. That's what I'm trying to say. The Scottish police are in a cover-up to protect this gypsy kid and his sister from the crime of assaulting a minor. And then we showed you the screenshot of the hospital record proving that Ruby Moore sustained a very serious head injury, a concussion, as a result of assault by the gypsy gangster Fatos Ali Dumana and his sister. If you recall my previous reporting, we described the vicious assault where the sister of the migrant violently attacked Ruby unprovoked, yanked her to the ground by the hair, and then her and her brother, the gypsy gangster, proceeded to kick her head. I guess the brother did kick her head too. And while she lay defenseless on the ground, you'll also recall that this is what motivated Lola to pull out the knife and the hatchet and scare off the migrants. This evidence also proves that the Daily Mail defamed these girls when it published a fake puff piece article on the violent migrant, claiming he is just an innocent Bulgarian dad. In the fake article, they also published the following lie from the migrant. I didn't hit her. I swear on my life. I have a baby now. I would never hurt someone, would never attack anyone. We hope that the Daily Mail will do the right thing and publish an immediate retraction. And the same thing with the New York Post here. In addition to the hospital record, which unequivocally proves the girls have been telling the truth the whole time, the families also have a recording from the Scottish police where the police admit that the family's sequence of events is correct, corroborating their entire story. The Scottish police have promised the families that they will release a statement in the coming days vindicating the families and clearing their names. We can only hope that this leads to charges filed against the violent migrants and the charges against Lola drop. The family wants to thank everyone who donated to the Give, Send, Go, and they want to thank everyone who has supported them through this ordeal. It means a great deal to them. Okay.
So legit though, so it's not just a Give, Send, Go for them to like have money. They are going to have legal battles now because of this. Like, I'm hoping that the right comes forward, but like they were arrested. They probably had to hire a lawyer. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that stuff's not cheap. I'm loving the memes. I'm not going to lie. I am absolutely loving the memes.
Well, somebody needs to send what you do in this case, if you have a lawyer, is you go to all the places where they, like Nick Sandman.
Yeah.
And all these other kids who have been falsely accused by the mainstream media, you say you can sue them for millions of dollars, actually.
I hope she sues them to
Kingdom and I hope, well, they need a lawyer. They need a lawyer who will sue them, who will take up their case.
So they need the money for the lawyer to sue.
Yeah, because
100%.
I need ambulance chasing lawyers. No, you need a good lawyer who will look at, okay,
we're going to break down the New York Post lawyer, but he probably can't, whoever that person was probably can't fight practice law in Scotland.
Well, you know, you can sue in different courts. So if you're going to sue the New York Post, you could sue the New York Post.
Yeah, because that's
here.
Internationally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could sue on behalf of another person here.
Right.
And they should. And they should, because now this poor little girl's been defamed, and all she was doing was protecting her sister from being attacked by this pimp. He's obviously some sort of drug dealing pimp.
So I don't like cartoons at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. You guys know how I feel about animation, or at least you should. I'm not a fan. But I feel like somebody should take, you know, these memes, the one that I just showed you guys, that I really and truly, here it is. Please make a cartoon show, a whole show about these sisters. Make a whole daggum cartoon show about these sisters. And you know what else? Here's what you do. You take William Wallace and you make them time travelers.
Oh yeah, and they go back and
they learn from William Wallace, who can conveniently look like Mel Gibson. You know what I'm getting at here? Let's go. And I would support this cartoon. 100%. Please don't do it AI though.
Right.
You know, because you can always tell with the AI. I'm just saying, someone should write a whole series of these patriotic, you know, crime fighting, migrant standing uppers, little girls. I think this is the most brilliant, and I pray that they get all the royalties from this brilliant idea that I have had.
I love it.
So Jewel says, does anybody know a British Tom Renz? Donna says Nick Sandman's attorney was Lynn Wood. It was Lynn Wood. I thought he had a couple of other ones, but you're right about that. Thank you, Donna. And Sherry, I agree with your comment. She says, at this point, automatically believe the native over the migrant. Barry says, in the UK, every time that an ethnic group comes here, they set up a council community. Even the Gypsies and the Roma people have a Gypsy Roma council, which have influence over the government and the police. And then they use the mainstream media as their mouthpiece.
They got to go. That's not okay. You don't get to come into somebody else's country and take it over like that.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, so I'm going to come to the United States for just a moment because I found this story incredibly interesting. Like, I don't know how I think about it. And I'm just going to put it out there for you.
I don't think that's how you word that sentence. I don't know how I think about it.
I don't know how I feel about it and think about it.
You don't know how you feel about it, and you don't know what you think about it.
I don't know what I think about it or how to think about it.
Okay.
So in these ICE arrests that have been happening around the United States.
Yeah.
They're normally South American migrants. So this headline makes my head go on tilt. It's all new Hyundai. It's all new Hyundai. It's all new Hyundai. So Hyundai is made in South Korea.
Yeah.
So Hyundai has a plant in the United States.
Okay.
And I do not know how I guess they're illegal migrants. So the Hyundai,
so the Zero Hedge articles are really hard for me to pull up because they come up as a complete I can show pictures though.
So the South Korean government has made a deal with the United States because the ICE arrested more than 300 South Korean illegal migrants working at this Hyundai plant making batteries in Georgia. And I'm just wondering, how did they get here? Like, would they come here on track? This had to be a very organized, facilitated thing. And now South Korea is mad at the United States.
Because they kicked them out?
Because they arrested them. So the South Korean government has chartered a plane for them. And this feels like this is like, was this something that like was just supposed to go underneath the radar? Like, did they have a deal with our government because this is okay? So
I feel like there's got to be way more to this story.
The South Korean government on September 7th today said that more than 300 South Korean workers who were detained during a federal immigration operation at a Georgia Hyundai plant will be released and just sent home. The South Korea and the U.S. government's finalized negotiations on releasing the workers, said the presidential chief of staff, Kang Hoo-sik. South Korea will send a charter plane to bring the workers back once the remaining administrative steps are concluded. On Friday, U.S. immigration authorities said that they had arrested 475 people at the worksite, most of whom were South Korean nationals. Hundreds of federal agents had conducted an operation at the Korean automaker Hyundai's large Georgia-based manufacturing plant, where it builds electric vehicles. More than 300 South Koreans were part of the group detained. In video footage released by ICE on Saturday, a caravan of vehicles can be seen approaching the site before federal agents direct workers to form a line outside. Agents told several detainees to put their hands against a bus before frisking them. Some of the workers were shackled around their hands and ankles and waists. The plant, which is still under construction, is a partnership between Hyundai and LG, the brand, energy solution to manufacture batteries for electric vehicles. The Hyundai campus is one of Georgia's largest economic development projects. The majority of the detainees were sent to an immigration detention center in Folkston, Georgia, near the Florida border. Stephen Schrank, a lead Georgia agent of Homeland Security, said during the news conference on September 5th that none of the arrested workers have been charged with crimes yet, as the investigation is ongoing. The September 4th operation was the largest federal immigration worksite operation in Homeland Security investigations history. The South Korean government, a key U.S. ally, said it felt concern and regret regarding the operation targeting its citizens and has sent diplomats to the plant. The effort continues the Trump administration's focus on illegal immigration and deportations at businesses and workplaces that allegedly employ illegal immigrants. Last week, ICE arrested dozens of illegal immigrants in the New York township of Cato and Fulton. The operation was carried out and run by a factory called Nutrition Bar Confectionaries, a local food processing company. Between 40 and 70 people there were arrested, and Kathy Hochul says, we don't want to rip families apart, even if they're here illegally. How many people are here illegally? Like, is this just something that goes on? Like from other countries? Like, how did they get here? And obviously the South Korean government is like, oh, I'm so sorry that we had 300 people there that were in America illegally.
But how did they get there? I guess did they get there legally and then like maybe their visas expired?
But obviously they didn't hey, I'm going to go on a vacation. And then they're like, and then 300 people go get a job at this plant.
Why can't the Hyundai plant just hire American workers?
That's a really good question. I would say, here's my thinking on this. They're probably better at what they do. And I don't think it's I don't think it's a matter of paying them less per se, but maybe paying them less for their precision and for what they know to do already. Like, you want to work with in my humble opinion, it's possible that they actually just want more competent people and who know what they're doing, because South Koreans are known for their, Dog. No, it should be. They're back. Okay, we're back.
I even taped it today.
Okay, so I do have a YouTube right here to, this is mainstream media, but this is CBS News talking about it.
Hold this up on your lap so she doesn't walk through it.
Okay, got you. So if you bring up this video, I'm just kind of like, how did you get here? Why are you here? Why are we not getting any more information? Obviously, they were sent here to work here. But when you say, did they come here legally? They came here under false pretenses, obviously.
Federal. Okay, here we go. I got this one.
So,
I don't know. I guess so. It's a Hyundai. Whoa. It's a Hyundai plant.
Mm-hmm.
Turn your mouse pad sideways.
Okay.
So what is it with, is there something illegal? I can lift this if you want me to. Is there something illegal going on there? I guess is kind of
why did they? No, I don't think so. I don't believe anything like it's a criminal act. I just feel like they wanted these particular workers there, and they had to get them there, and they could not get them there under H-1B1 visas, and so they just got them there any way they could.
Wow.
Federal agents arrested nearly 500 people during an immigration raid in Georgia earlier this week. Homeland Security officials called it the largest single-site enforcement operation in the agency's history. It happened at a Hyundai electrical vehicle manufacturing plant in Ellabelle, about 25 miles west of Savannah. Most of those detained were South Korean nationals. It is the latest in a string of workplace raids by the Trump administration as part of the president's mass deportation push. Skylar Henry has more.
All yours. Video filmed inside the plant shows armed Homeland Security agents executing a search warrant Thursday.
We need construction to cease immediately. We need all work to end on the site right now.
Officers can be seen outside, rounding up hundreds of workers in yellow vests. Nearly 500 people were arrested. The majority were South Korean nationals. U.S. officials said all had either entered the country illegally, overstayed their visas, or were not authorized to work. Stephen Schrank is the special agent in charge.
Together, we are sending a clear and unequivocal message that those who exploit our workforce, undermine our economy, and violate federal laws will be held accountable.
The massive $7.6 billion battery plant, a joint venture between South Korean companies LG and Hyundai, covers nearly 3,000 acres and is the largest economic project in Georgia's history.
On behalf of all Georgians, I want to thank you.
3 years ago, Governor Brian Kemp welcomed its opening. Authorities alleged the plant had been under investigation for what it said were illegal practices for months.
There's helicopters, Humvees, Georgia State Police.
Production supervisor Casey Deacon was at the facility when the raid took place.
I would assume they would continue, production. However, with that significant loss with personnel, I don't know how they're going to go forward.
Hyundai and LG said that they are cooperating with law enforcement. All of this comes just a week after the South Korean president met with President Trump at the White House to talk about trade and tariffs. The Korean president pledged $150 billion by Korean companies to the U.S., and that includes $26 billion by Hyundai. For CBS Saturday Morning, I'm Skyler Henry.
So I have a couple of thoughts on this.
Yeah.
So it says that they were under investigation for illegal practices. We don't know what those illegal practices are other than having illegal migrants there.
Yeah.
But in light of what they just reported on the meeting between President Trump and the president of South Korea, they say dedicating billions. It just means investment. Okay, translate that in investment. It's going to be very lucrative for South Korea. Okay, so let's get that straight. I am not convinced that any of these meetings that Donald Trump has had with these countries are what they seem for the person that he's meeting with. I don't think that they know what President Trump is thinking. And I don't think that President Trump is being transparent with the American people as far as what he is thinking. Because you would think, like, my brain just goes straight to, okay, Trump could not care less if there were 300 South Korean workers at this plant, because he just wants production. So what, I guess I'm just still, I don't have any answers for you. I only have questions. I'm sitting here going, this doesn't track with me. Something about this whole story there's got to be another layer to this that we're missing, because it doesn't make any sense for them to have this meeting, for it to sound all chummy. And I don't think that, I know this sounds really terrible. I could be way off base on this. I just don't think that Trump cares about illegal migrants that are from South Korea working here in the United States.
I don't think it's about Trump. I do think that the ICE director is taking online tips seriously, and that if he got some tips that, there are some people from South Korea that are here illegally, and they find it, then they're going to arrest them and deport them. So what I think is that, Trump doesn't really care, but because other people do care, like Tom Homan, right? And he's there like a dog with a bone, and people like Tom Homan, right? And he's like, no, you're here illegally, you have to go. So then, Trump or whoever's got to call up, South Korea and be like, yo, bro, I'm really sorry, but you got to take your people back, because otherwise this is illegal. Like you committed a crime. How did you get here? Did you commit a crime by coming here illegally? And then for South Korea to be like, we regret it, like it's your fault that our people are there illegally.
Well, see, that's what I'm getting at.
And now you get this charter plane and you just get to go home and you get to go back to freedom.
So what I'm getting at with this, there's got to be more to this.
I think that Trump didn't really necessarily want him arrested, but Tom Homan did.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So
I'm not disagreeing with you. My wheels are still churning, because the way that South Korea's response to this was, we regret.
Sorry,
essentially,
we got caught.
But no, it's almost like they are angry at the United States for doing this. They are upset that somehow they had
some sort of agreement.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. There was some sort of agreement that now it's been walked back on.
Because other people aren't in on the agreement.
And
the other people are doing their job.
Yeah.
Because there are actual ICE agents, I believe, doing their job.
Let me read this comment. Ohio Croatian says, this is not acceptable if it's true. We Americans need these high-paying jobs. Go President Trump. Ian, who's in the UK, says, you don't know how bad it is here. I had a 4-month police investigation for telling the local council it should not promote a lifestyle. They advertised that they were an equal opportunity employer. So I said, what about the disabled? And someone complained to the police and the blank hit the fan.
Well, that's interesting because there's an article from this week that Nigel Farage told Congress, our Congress, that the UK has become like North Korea, urges the US to stand up against censorship in Britain. So Nigel Farage, he appeared before the Judicial Commissioner. Did you know this?
No.
The Judiciary Committee in the House of Representatives on Wednesday.
Did not know about this.
Yeah.
Do we have a clip of it?
I don't know. We've kind of forgotten the Voltairian principles, Voltaire from France, that will fight and defeat to the death your right to say something that we fundamentally disagree with. That is the absolute foundation, if you think about it, of free speech, of democracy, of living in freedom, he said. Farage pointed to the arrest of Father Ted creator Graham Linehan in London this week. I did not know this, over social media posts about transgenderism as an example of the creeping authoritarianism in his country. He pointed out some tweets months ago when he was in Arizona, and months later he arrives at Heathrow Airport to be met by 5 armed police.
Can we play this?
I guess. I don't know.
Is it a video?
I don't know.
We're being told to buy the orange coins, but these snot-nosed kids are...
At what point did we become North Korea?
Oh, shoot.
Well, I think the Irish comedy writer found out about 2 days ago. I did not know this. And then the Reform Boss also pointed to the case of 42-year-old mother Lucy Conley, who was given 31-month sentence for a tweet put out in anger following the Southport mass, stabbing there. I did not know that.
I would love to see, there's got to be a clip of Farage in the house.
Huh. I don't know.
That's
a
crazy.
Good question. Let's see if we can find something. Farage fighting. Okay, here we go. I got it.
Okay, Leah's got it from the Twitter.
Retweeting.
We're discovering the news right alongside you guys.
That would have been a headline story.
It
Nigel Farage, some things you just don't know until you know. And now we all know.
Like I said, we're all learning together. Well, we are going to get to the other the huge UK story. So,
the Right Honourable Member of Parliament, Mr. Farage, is recognised.
Well, thank you very much indeed. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Chairman Jordan, for inviting me here today. And it turns out, with news in the last 48 hours, to have been really rather timely. I'm delighted to reacquaint with the charming Mr. Raskin. Delightful testimony you gave me earlier on with your speech. But hey, that's fine. You can say what you like. I don't care. Because that's what free speech is. And in a sense, this has all been going wrong now for a couple of decades. We've kind of forgotten the Voltairian principles that we'll fight and defend to the death your right to say something that we fundamentally disagree with. That is the absolute foundation, if you think about it, of free speech, of democracy, of living in freedom. It's kind of why we fought 2 world wars at massive, massive cost to defend that very principle for ourselves and for many, many others around the country. And I first became worried about all this with cancel culture. You know, the idea that we can't have this speaker go to a university because some people might be offended by what he or she have to say. It is important to note that there is not a parent in the United Kingdom, and I would guess it's the same for America too, that is not concerned about content their children as minors can find on the internet. Not a single parent that is not concerned about this. But at the moment, we're not finding the right solutions. I do myself begin to think that hardware might be one of the solutions. That laptops, that handsets could be programmed so that many, many apps and many, many services simply aren't available from these devices. But what we've done is to go down the legislative route. And it's extraordinary that, you know, I come from the land of Magna Carta. I come from the land that gave us the Mother of Parliaments. And it doesn't give me any great joy to be sitting in America and describing the really awful authoritarian situation that we have now sunk into. J.D. Vance did us all a service at the Munich Security Conference back in February this year. He really got this debate up and running, and it's a vital one. We've run on since then. The Online Safety Act was put in place by the last Conservative government. I don't doubt for a minute their good intentions, but sometimes the road to hell is paved with those good intentions. And we are now where we are. We have a couple of very famous cases. We, of course, have Lucy Connolly, who put out an intemperate tweet after the savage murder of those 3 beautiful young girls, she herself, a mother who had lost a child. It was intemperate, it was wrong, but she removed it 3.5 hours later, sentenced to 31 months in prison. She's now out, having served 40% of the time. I wanted to bring her with me today as living proof of what can go wrong. Sadly, the restrictions that have been put on her banned her from making the trip, which is a very, very great shame. And we, of course, have the extraordinary events that we understood yesterday of Graham Linehan, the comedic writer, and he put out some tweets months ago when he was in Arizona, and months later he arrives at Heathrow Airport to be met by 5 armed police. Armed police, not a big deal in the USA, a very big deal in the United Kingdom. 5 of them. And he was arrested and taken away for questioning. He's not even a British citizen. He's an Irish citizen. This could happen to any American man or woman that goes to Heathrow that has said things online that the British government and British police don't like.
Pause that real quick, because this is
threat.
the scary part that I didn't realize then to finish this speech, because this actually should have been our headline story, but we didn't know, and here it is. This guy, Graham Linehan, who we've actually played a little bit before, he was in trouble in 2023 over some tweets on transgenderism. Well, he made some tweets while in America. He is Irish, and he was arrested in Britain. Okay, so he's not a British citizen. Okay, why in the world would this guy be arrested in a country that he has not committed a crime in, unless anything you do in another country is now a crime?
Right.
Now, here's the caveat. A lot of people in the UK do think that Ireland is like de facto part of the British Empire, even though, and that's kind
is
of
it Northern Ireland, or
it's
okay. Well,
no, Southern Ireland.
Oh,
Ireland, the country, is Southern Ireland. Northern Ireland is
right.
So he's part of Southern Ireland, like the country of Ireland.
They don't get to arrest you in the UK from Southern Ireland.
Well, I'm saying that, like, so there's a clip that I'm going to play where now Americans are going to be asking, can I be arrested at Heathrow in London for things I've said? I'm going to finish this just in a second. But here's the thing. They're probably not, only because Ireland is the same landmass.
But it's not the same country.
It's not, but I'm just giving it some nuance. They do kind of feel like they should own.
No, that's ridiculous. You are a citizen. If you're an Irish citizen, you are not part of the UK. You cannot be arrested by their government. It's ridiculous.
Right. We're going to finish this speech, and we're going to talk about this in a second.
Tech bosses to many, many others. This legislation we've got will damage trade between our countries, threaten free speech across the West because of the knock-on rollout effects of this legislation from us or from the European Union. So I've come today as well to be a klaxon, to say to you, don't allow, piece by piece, this to happen here in America. And you would be doing us and yourselves and all freedom-loving people a favor if your politicians and your businesses said to the British government, you've simply got this wrong. At what point did we become North Korea? Well, I think the Irish comedy writer found that out 2 days ago at Heathrow Airport. This is a genuinely worrying, concerning, and shocking situation. And I thank you for the opportunity to come here.
Michelle, I just tweeted out a bunch on Graham, and I'm kind of going to focus on this for the day. Even J.K. Rowling is talking about this. So he arrives in Heathrow Airport. He's arrested. There's a lot of support around this man. J.K. Rowling even says, what Sir Mark Rowley calls a toxic culture war, I call a mass campaign of intimidation against women for standing up for their rights, and police turning a blind eye to the men publicly calling for women to be beaten, raped, and hanged, and even decapitated. So let's just go over a few of these things. He has been on the forefront of talking about transgender issues. There are no such thing as transgender children, he says. And go ahead and
It was
play
a
this.
great kind of coordination in trying to muddy the issue. I'm sure we've all seen the rapist who was arrested, and he has a full beard, and the BBC had the headline, woman arrested, or whatever it was. And I think it just can't really go on at the level it is for too much longer. I don't think it's what's the word? Possible for it to continue the way it's been going for the last 5 years. And like Andrew, I hold the doctors obviously are very responsible for what's been happening, but the press, the media, they really have to be held to account as well.
That's really good. That's really good. All right, let's play this next the next clip here on and how this is what he's arrested for, basically.
Extremely high stakes, the health of children, the safeguarding of women, fairness in women's sports. These are all extreme. So the idea that it's baffling, and then Graham Norton, as you say, says there's no such thing as cancel culture. He must know that I've had my life destroyed by trans rights activists. He must know that the Father Ted musical has been cancelled because of them.
Father Ted was a huge program in the UK.
He makes this statement about accountability, but again, what am I being held accountable for? Everyone agrees with me. You know what I mean? It's just that for some weird reason, this ideology has kind of taken over in certain areas, publishing, the theatre, journalism. For some reason, it's these middle-class pursuits is the wrong word, but it's these middle-class industries that have been, captured. And everyone outside of these industries, no one believes it. No, everyone believes that women should have fair sports, that men shouldn't be able to go into women's toilets or changing areas or rape crisis centres, whatever it happens to be, simply because they identify as a woman. No one believes this outside of these industries. And also, you cannot speak to anyone about it. If you talk to people about it, they do the equivalent of putting their hands over their ears. And I think it's because it's a middle-class phenomenon. Everybody in the middle class knows somebody whose child identifies as non-binary or has some sort of similar identification thing going on. And these kids are kind of feeding their parents a line of nonsense,
Yes.
that the parents, who love their kids, are just swallowing whole.
What's amazing is that it's worldwide.
Yeah.
Okay, so then this is the Speech Union. I follow.
We're not going to play the whole thing of this.
No. The Free Speech Union. I follow this on Twitter. They have been speaking out. They will provide legal fees for people in the UK, and they have been inundated with Americans saying, "If I go to London, will I be arrested?"
Father Ted co-creator Graham Linehan was arrested this week by 5 police officers at Heathrow Airport for comments posted on X in April. It created a furore around the world, and we are now joined by Lord Young, director of the Free Speech Union, who is assisting Graham Linehan in this matter. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, sir.
I don't know about you, I think it was Tuesday morning, was it, or Wednesday morning? My phone sort of started going off about 6 o'clock. And this news kind of just appeared out of nowhere that Graham had been arrested.
Yeah, I mean, it was at first completely unbelievable. I heard it shortly after it had happened because the Free Speech Union has engaged a legal team to defend Graham in another matter. So we heard about it almost as soon as it happened. And then he was released, I think, at 4 o'clock in the morning, having been held for more than 12 hours in a cell at Heathrow, and only released because his blood pressure was so elevated, he was at risk of having a stroke, so had to be rushed to accident and emergency. And when he was released, the police imposed this gagging order as one of the bail conditions, whereby he couldn't post on X as a condition of being released. So there was a lot for the Free Speech Union and its legal team to get its teeth into. And then he himself posted about it on his Substack. I think he wrote the post from his hospital bed, and that really broke the story, and it was the story that went across the world.
Well, this is it. I mean, he's famous, obviously, in the UK and in Ireland, and and arguably one of our great comedy talents, and for him standing up for women's rights and for children's safety. But this has been a big deal in America. I think that's quite interesting. I mean, they obviously seem to be quite fixated on free speech in the UK, but this seems to confirm their worst fears, maybe our worst fears.
Yeah, I mean, the Free Speech Union has had more queries this week from people in America than in any previous week, and it's mainly US citizens who are planning to come to the UK and are now worried that they'll be met by armed police officers when they disembark their US flight because of something they've said on social media in the United States. And it's not such an unreasonable fear, given that Graham's not sure, but thinks he may have tweeted some of the things the police arrested him for whilst he was in the United States. And he's not a UK citizen, he's an Irish citizen. So it's not out of the question that American citizens could be arrested when they arrive at Heathrow for something they've said on social media. I mean, it is absolutely extraordinary, and I think probably the most egregious example we've had yet in a long list of egregious examples of the police overreacting to somebody has said on social media, particularly X, which has caused an activist to complain and demand the police do something.
I think it's piqued a lot of people. I mean, you had Sir Keir Starmer giving an announcement, and the irony is that a couple of weeks ago he's standing with JD Vance and saying how the UK is the home of free speech, yet a few weeks later that seems to be very much not the case anymore. And you also had Sir Mark Rowley give an announcement kind of blaming...
You can play the next one here. This is the arrest of Graham Lyman was no rogue raid. It was a top-down signal. Our police aren't just enforcing the law, they're enforcing an ideology handed down by NGOs and consultants. Now.
Well, I do worry because earlier on, I think one of the politicians made the point that this is the behavior of overzealous police. And I don't think that we can talk about overzealous police because this kind of policing of speech
this
has
is not
become
just
entirely
like
normalized.
A rogue police officer.
And
Exactly.
the thing that I really worry about is that in the 21st century, you can have forms of behavior that you usually associate with authoritarian regimes, like getting 5 police to arrest a single individual, and not being embarrassed about it. Just imagine that we have so much police resources that we can, in a sense, spend it on things like that. And at the same time as there's this attempt to police the words that we're using online on the social media, the police are basically doing very little about fighting crime. And I have the impression that sometimes you have dozens and dozens of policemen sitting around looking at different social platforms to see if they can do something about it, whilst at the same time shoplifting is becoming normalized, at the same time crimes are not being
exactly the Bulgarian
so it's a very difficult situation where we have a kind of soft police state.
It would be part of the UK. So go ahead.
This is the thing, right? Okay. You're all over social media to get this guy, and you can bring up the last one because he wears this really great sign when he on his arrest, which is just perfect. And so they are spending all this time because of social media Karens who are reporting things to the police, and they feel this righteous anger. And I was listening to a video on how liberals feel like they have to do this because it means that they're helping the marginalized or something like that. Mm-hmm. But the real marginalized are these children, like who have been grooming ganged and raped and things like that. And then these children being attacked by this Bulgarian migrant. And overzealous police would have been like banging on the door of the migrant, arresting, deporting him. Okay. And actually, I wouldn't think that that's overzealous. I would just think it's zealous and it would be the right thing to do.
Appropriate. So
you're sending 5 armed police officers to this comedian who you know is no threat. And you aren't doing anything about the obvious Bulgarian whole mafia in all these other places in your country. So that's what I was going to say. But I did appreciate the way how Graham showed up to his trial in the UK with a billboard sign on both on front and back, which there's no such thing as a transgender child.
Do you have a few words ahead of today's appearance?
No words.
guys are well. I'm never going to say it.
No, wait, no, it says keep, the other one says keep men out of sports.
Good for him. Good for him. Okay, guys, I want to hear your thoughts.
I guess this was my thought. There goes the Resistance Chicks UK tour.
Oh yeah, that was out the window a long time ago when we talked about Muslims, but now we're done.
A while ago, we're like, we can't go. I wanted to go. So for those of you that don't know, I don't know how this all got. That Leah and I, early on in our career, which is not a career, but it is. Early on in our career, we're very famous in the UK.
Yes, very
And
famous.
We were getting a lot of invitations. Still to this day, Barry, you are still inviting us to come to the UK.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of places, including Barry's, that we could stay if we wanted to go to the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking to myself, if we did an event in the UK, it would be a worthy size event.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
it would be. Nigel Farage came to Cincinnati, and he drew about like 50 people.
Yeah,
and I think we could definitely draw about 50 to 100 people in the UK. It'd be 100%. Fun.
It would be really fun. And so I had legitimate,
probably more,
dreams.
Yeah.
Of I not just dreams. I like assumed.
Mm-hmm.
This goes back like 5 or 6 years. I assumed that at some point we were going to go to the UK. I figured we were going to go to Poland. I thought we were going to go to the UK. We talked about getting our passports in order. I think we did get our passports in order.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just assumed. And then things started to get a little dicey.
Mm-hmm.
Then Lauren Southern can't get into the UK.
Right.
And I thought, man, like what if we had planned an event and then they don't even let us in? So now we're going to, not only do you have to fear that they won't even let you in, what might be worse is they let you in and then they arrest you and they don't let you out.
Right.
So I'm so sorry to disappoint the UK people, but unless and until there is some sort of gigantic, massive, until Farage becomes prime minister, which we should move to that story next. Unless you guys are tired of the UK, let's take a break from the UK. We've been there for a little while, and then we'll come back to our main story. Which now that Angela Rayner has resigned on fraud.
People don't know who she is.
She's the deputy prime minister in the UK.
Yeah.
And it was such a big deal. Barry sent it to us immediately. Like, you girls don't even know. This is the biggest shakeup. It's like in the past. And that's what Farage was, I think, Farage is on
Cloud 9 right now.
There's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
It is estimated that if they do this that at some point, then they may gain like 400 seats, Reform UK. So things are looking up for conservatives in the UK. They're looking up for Nigel Farage, and it's looking very bad for Labour, for the Labour government right now. So we're going to get to that in a little bit.
Okay,
let's make a shift to another country for a little bit.
So let's go to, I have this neat thread on Poland. Can you scroll down threads or no on Twitter with your system?
If I have the link to the thread, then probably.
Okay, because I really appreciated this thread because in the modern push of progressivism and AI, I don't want to go that direction. I feel like things, buildings, whether it's Poland or even Milford, Ohio, that culture and building should fill your soul.
Yeah.
And during communism, they went through in a satanic push to destroy the aesthetics.
All beauty.
And to make things dark and gray and concrete. And you see that here in the United...
Do you really think that East Berlin started that way?
No,
Right.
That's a very good point. So in Poland was taken over by communism. But when they came out of communism, they have spent a vast amount of time and energy to rebuild their culture. And it's what makes them so great.
So I don't know that I can scroll through a thread.
You have to click on them. You can't just scroll down. If you click on it, go up and click, see if you can click on it. No? Shoot.
You click on the picture.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll have to go through each picture and bring them up. Fun for you. Okay.
Well, read the top of this.
So Poland just became a $1 trillion economy without open borders, without giving up religion, without tearing down its traditions. What did Poland do that the West won't? Back in 1990, Poland was broke and gray. Yeah. Fresh out of the Soviet control, it had crumbling factories, dulling housing blocks, and a weak economy. No one expected it to become the EU's quiet success story. Then there's another one. Today, Poland has become a vibrant society. Old towns have been rebuilt with care. That's where we can go. Like, we still can go there, okay? Churches have been restored, Soviet scars replaced with colorful facades and cobbled streets. Poland proves something no one talks about. You can build prosperity without destroying beauty.
No, that's good.
While the rest of Europe is debating statues, Poland is preserving their cathedrals, restoring medieval squares, and opening palaces to the public. It didn't chase glass and steel progress. It made history visible again. Did you play that already?
I did.
Okay.
It's playing right now.
So in Krakow, Wrocław, and Warsaw, I can't say Gdańsk, I don't know how to say that, Gdańsk, they're now among Europe's top destinations. Tourism is booming.
Oh, that's beautiful. But not
because Poland is sold out, but because it doubled down on what makes Poland Poland. While others erase their roots, Poland crowns its faith. Literally, in 2016, Poland officially named Jesus Christ as their king, not as a symbol, not as a metaphor, a national act of a declaration.
And going back to Resistance Chicks, when we became famous in Poland, it was because we covered that. We covered them declaring Christ as king at that time, which was so huge.
You can scroll down and just find another picture, and I'll just keep reading. You don't need to. I guess you can bring up the stats. You don't need them. And yet its economy keeps growing. It's fastest GDP growth in EU over the past 30 years. Unemployment is under 33%, low inflation, high exports. Their education is strong, wages are rising, crime is obviously low, families are intact. And here's the kicker. Poland did not rely on mass immigration to grow. 98% of its population is still Polish. Doesn't need all of its mass migration. You don't need it.
Right.
You don't need it, right?
You want to play this from Church-Ginsey?
You can, sure.
We don't need your engineers. Take them all, and pay for them. We don't need them. You know why? Because there's zero terrorist attacks in Poland. Why? Because there's no illegal migration in Poland. So don't give me this look.
So you can scroll down to the West told us tradition holds you back, religion divides, beauty is optional, national identity is outdated. Poland said no thanks. And they've kept their traditions and their religion and their beauty and their culture.
I do genuinely want to go to Poland.
This is what no one wants to admit. Poland is thriving not in spite of its values, but because of them. No erasure, no imported chaos, no war on the past, just faith, work, pride, and beauty. So anyways, that's it. I just felt like that was a really great,
that's fun.
And when you compare that to this video, which does have some swear words, so please put the kids out of the room for a second. But this is so gross. Have you guys seen videos of garbage in India? You know how you've seen garbage in India and it floods their rivers and the ocean?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is not a racist thing because the Indians from India in Canada, there's a huge population.
Yeah.
They don't know how to just throw their stuff away in the trash. Canadians love beauty. And they do, Canadians, you have to follow the rules, right?
Yeah.
So in Canada, if you litter, everyone is a Karen. Everyone is going to tattletale on you. So here you have all these Canadians recording all these Indians throwing their trash just in piles out the window.
The government has hired sanitation workers. They should do their job.
They're just throwing their trash in the rivers.
If the road is dirty, it's not my fault. It is the sanitation worker and the government who's not cleaning it 24/7.
Hey dude, that's not a garbage can.
day. It's not just at morning 7 o'clock time that you send in sanitation workers to clean the road. I will dirty it anytime.
Yeah, pick it up right now. Let's go. Pick it up, put it back in your truck. You don't litter here. You can't litter here. Yeah, put it in the truck. I'm going to watch you. You don't litter here. I'll phone the police. That's a $2,000 fine.
Here people can't, and then, oh my god.
Oh, what the fuck?
Sorry.
This is actually fucking disgusting, man.
Why are you throwing garbage out in the river? No, I just saw you. I just saw you. Your plastic bag. Plastic bag is garbage.
The fuck are you doing?
Sorry.
Why are you throwing your...
Okay, undo it.
Why are you trying to throw your shit on...
Sorry. I just told you, these guys are, this is how they feel.
Seriously? You don't just, like, there's a garbage, right?
Take that to the dump.
So, you guys want to know why India is so dirty? It's in their culture. I'm sorry. I'm not being racist. You have imported a culture that doesn't know how to pick things up. They weren't taught that.
Yeah.
They weren't taught. There's no trash. There's no bins. There's no, and they could do it. They could do it. They could have a garbage disposal system. And for that Indian woman to come over and say, it's not my fault. You should be running trash picker-uppers on the side of the road 24/7. What do you mean? Canada is like huge. That's why you put the trash in a trash can and trash men come and pick it up. Okay. And if that is how you're, if I hate when people throw things in our ditch. It's like, do you not know that there are plenty of trash cans around this world that you can put your trash away? Okay.
I have never,
So gross.
time in my entire life, purposefully dropped a piece of garbage anywhere outside of a trash can. Not one time.
I feel bad when I throw my gum out the window.
I have thrown banana peels out the window if it's compostable.
Orange peels.
Okay, but I always try to make sure that it goes in the woods. Okay, but I have never, ever, one time, I'm losing Instagram. I've never once ever dropped trash other than in a trash can on purpose. Like, of course, like maybe you drop something, you don't know that you've dropped it, but like we live on a road that we're on a corner. And so both our front yard and our side yard we're constantly having to pick up beer bottles, cans, whole bags of like somebody's fast food. And I always think to myself, like, who does that? Like, I don't know people that do that. I've never even met anybody that does it. But clearly there's a lot of people that do it. You know, there was for a while there down the street, it was like every Saturday somebody was driving by and they would go off the road and they would throw a beer bottle out of the window because we would see them go, their tire tracks haven't gone off the road in somebody else's yard. I don't know. I don't get it. Like it's beyond me that anybody would ever litter. Like, I don't know. I can't. James says, amazing that these folks are such heathens. Barry says the orange peel takes 2 years to decompose. Yeah, but it does decompose eventually. Okay, so let me go back and read some more comments that I missed because you guys were leaving the good ones over here on Rumble. Trump needs to sanction the Labor and the Tory party over the decline in free speech. The embarrassment alone will force a change in direction. Barry says, Michelle, I can go into the ROI on just a driving license from Wales across the Irish Sea, from Wales to Dublin, or from Liverpool to Dublin. I don't need a proper passport, although the ROI is actually in the EU and not part of the UK. That's why the Brits class the ROI as part of the UK as a whole. The ROI is also classed as part of the British Isles geographically, but it's not governmentally. So Geo says, our differences with RIO or ROI, whichever it is, ROI, are disappearing because we have a common enemy in government and one that both our governments have imported against our will. That's Scotland versus Ireland.
Are you sure it's just not the Republic of Ireland versus everybody else? What do you mean?
Our differences? Or he's talking about our differences, like
He means his differences between the Republic of Ireland and Scotland.
Oh, did he say Scotland? Okay.
He's from Gio is from Scotland.
Okay, gotcha.
So Sherry says, I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. Some cultures don't respect the environment and aren't good stewards. They also happen to be non-Christian nations. Thank you, Sherry. That is very true. I appreciate that. Over on YouTube, Stuart the Brit says, the Democrats that interviewed Farage were moronic, so totally childish. Farage was a master as usual.
Oh, I would have loved it. I need to see that. I'm just going to watch it. I'm just going to watch it.
And he says, and the Polish came here to work and take their money back to their families. Ballistic Mystic says, India is finding themselves in Canada, and they will learn or be subject to prejudice and good discrimination. Finding themselves.
So speaking of India, I was going to tell you guys this story on Friday. I just want to bring this up just real quick because this was just so silly. The Indian lobby has started to pay conservative influencers to spread propaganda on how India loves Trump and is a good ally. These people will sell out their country for a couple of grand, confirmed from a source who received a similar offer. So this Chuck Costello guy has several, 100,000 people on Twitter, and we've got the election wizard. He says he wasn't taking any money. And this Gunther Eagleman, a lot of them were, trying to put out this propaganda saying that, oh my gosh, the CCP runs illegal surveillance ops, floods U.S. markets and subsidized spyware, steals military and tech secrets. India buys oil legally. India loves Trump. That's why the mainstream media is going after them. Let's not waste time pretending they're the enemy just because India participates in the free market neutrally. Nobody tweets that out as a normal person. Like a random, you know what I'm going to think today? I think I'm going to tweet about India and how they participate in the free market neutrally. Nobody says that. That's not normal speech.
Right.
That's a talking point.
Right.
So there was a bunch of them that went out. And here's the thing.
They're literally being paid by India.
American blank blank. India isn't the problem. Pushing them towards China alliance is. Here's the thing, though. I think that there is an India lobby that does not want to be aligned with China, that wants to be aligned with America because everybody wants to be aligned with America. Okay. Right. But they're trying to say, hey guys, we don't really want to go to China, but we have to because Modi and Putin and Xi are all meeting together all the time. They know that they're the axis of they're not even the axis of evil. India just doesn't really have a good outlet because they're kind of stuck there. They're on the east, right? So that's your region,
right?
And we do a lot of business with India. We get a lot of medicine from India. We get medicine from India, but in this culture war, in this culture game, I just wanted to point out that not everything that you see on social media is there by like a regular person. It could be a government lobbying you.
So I'm going to drop Instagram because it's having some fits. So Instagrammers, you can go over to Rumble, Facebook, or YouTube, or even Twitter.
So this is crazy. I think I don't know if I think I might have, you should have a Zero Hedge article on this, but I might have closed it down about the French hospitals.
Okay.
But you could just play this video. This is insane. French hospitals are told to prepare for war by next year, according to a leaked government letter. According to The Independent, the French Ministry of Health told hospitals to prepare for a major military engagement by March of 2026, and warned that 10,000 to 50,000 men could be expected in hospitals. In the current international context, it is necessary to anticipate the modalities of health support in situations of high-intensity conflict. Health Minister Catherine Vautrin didn't deny the letter and claimed it was simply part of preparation.
Conflict by next year, with the government urging health providers across France have reportedly been told to prepare for a potential armed conflict by next year, with the government urging health providers to be ready.
The COVID
According to French media, in a leaked letter sent to health agencies across the country, the government says hospitals should be prepared for a major military engagement as soon as March 2026. It said that between 10,000 and 50,000 men could be expected in French hospitals over a 6-month period, which could include foreign soldiers who are coordinated with NATO and the EU. They are planning medical transit centres to make use of regional facilities and to distribute patients arriving from potential front lines. According to the reports, doctors are also being warned to prepare for shortages. The French health minister hasn't denied the letter and stressed it was a precautionary measure. but that aggression from some actors means the country needs to prepare for the worst. It comes months after the government announced a survival manual which is set to be sent to every household in the country. The 20-page booklet is said to include details of what to do in a variety of emergencies, including nuclear blasts and natural disasters, and contains a survival kit packing list, which includes water, tinned food, paracetamol, and a torch.
This is so weird. Isn't paracetamol just Tylenol? I don't know what
Make
it is.
sure you have some Tylenol on hand. NATO Chief Mark Rutte has warned that the world is on the brink of World War III, claiming a dual assault from China on Taiwan and Russia on NATO territory could spark a global conflict. What are your thoughts? We didn't think much of it. Did Agenda 21 come out? Did we know about it before COVID?
No, we didn't find out about it until after. What it was is the Agenda 21 Planning Committee videos started to leak. I want to say like in February, March, something like that. It was like around the time that they actually declared COVID, a thing.
Okay.
So I have a lot of thoughts on this. There's two ways that this could go.
Okay.
In two ways only.
Okay.
Either it's real or it's fake.
Okay, that's why you come to Resistance Chicks.
You
never
come here.
Wow,
no,
that's
but
deep.
what I mean is there's no nuance. I don't believe that. And when I say real, I mean it's imminent.
I get what
They're
you're saying.
putting it out like, oh, just in case. I don't think there's any just in case here. I think that this is either it's a distraction from something or it's intended to hype us up or hype the French up.
I get you.
Or it's real legit.
I get
Like,
it.
hey, be ready. You know,
Hey, Augie dog. No, sir. Come here. Augie, come here.
Now he's got his toy. Good boy.
Thank you, Augie. Thank you, Augie. You want it? Can they see?
They can't. Well, if you throw, yeah, sort of. If you throw it for them, then they go take your toy. Oh my god!
He got a bath yesterday because on the walk he rolled in something that was the worst smell ever. I don't even know. I don't know what it was.
This is so poignant from Donna. She says, "Hey, just in case, wouldn't likely specify March 2026." Good point. Very astute of you. Very observant of you, Donna.
You get
ding, ding, ding.
Yep,
Donna
you get
gets
that
the
today.
cookie.
You get that today.
If you're seeing rising smoke behind us, nothing is wrong. It's not a fog. Patriot Gallery has been on a burn fest in clearing out land and making the land beautiful for, and now would be a good time to re-announce our chicken butchering workshop. You can go to resistancechicks.com/chicken workshop 2025 and register if you're within driving distance and you would like to come. There's an extra dog here. No? Oh, no, that's Augie in there. Okay, we had a switcheroo. If you would like to make a little weekend trip of it, you can. It's going to be just outside of Cincinnati. It's going to be Saturday the 13th, so a week from yesterday, from 1 to 7-ish, but we'll start our cleanup around 5. We'll do a potluck starting around 5:30. It's going to be a really, really fun day. So even if you've tuned in, listen to me, even if you have joined us in the past, you are welcome to come again. Registration is $25 a person or $35 a family. That just means that you or your family will go home with a bird. A whole roasting chicken. So we would love to have you guys come and learn how to, what did I say yesterday, do a skill of the ancient people, meaning everyone should know how to do that, butcher a chicken. So anyway, so Patriot Gallery's been getting the yard ready, and so yesterday I was out here, I was doing bookkeeping. So I'm out here with my electronics and all my paperwork, and it was like the fallout of a volcano because it's just ash everywhere. So I feel bad for our neighbors. We should be done with burning for a little while. Does that feel right?
Yeah, it does. But we'll just be cleaning more things out, I'm sure.
I know, but it's so much burning.
Okay, gold, the natural Bitcoin. Now, I'm not big on Bitcoin, but Bukele in El Salvador is. And so El Salvador has been aligning itself with Bitcoin, but also with gold. And so I wanted to share this with you guys from Zero Hedge. Stablecoin issuer Tether has held talks on investing in gold miners and royalty firms after already acquiring $8.7 billion worth of bullion. Meanwhile, El Salvador bought nearly 14,000 ounces of gold for $50 million, its first central bank purchase since the 1990. Tether CEO Paulo Ardonio has previously described gold as a natural Bitcoin and suggested in a separate interview that if a global reset were to occur, it would happen in gold.
Wow, that's encouraging.
Tether, the world's largest stablecoin issuer, has reportedly been in discussions. They want to invest in gold. Just doesn't come out of nowhere. You have to invest in mining and searching for it, and you know, those things. And he says, I prefer to think in Bitcoin terms and think gold is kind of a resource of nature. So let me just explain to you that that's not an epiphany.
I think we've known it from the beginning of time.
Grass is like a resource of nature. It's like the earth's gold for cows. Man, if we could it just dawned on me. It just dawned on me that grass is like, and actually I had
Our whole neighbors hear the podcast.
I had this epiphany about grass.
Yes.
Because when you have animals that need grass and grazing, you don't look at grass as just grass anymore.
Right.
You look at it as food.
Yes.
You look at it as you want it to be nourished, you want the rain. And when you see good, luscious grass, you're thinking to yourself, animals can thrive here. I can thrive here.
Yeah, that's good.
Right? So animals we need them, right? So I did have an epiphany of like grass is gold. But the funny thing for that line there that said, I prefer to think of Bitcoin in terms, I think of gold is a kind of is a resource of nature that is almost like a natural Bitcoin.
But I love that you have to actually compare gold to something that's fake for people to get it, which is weird.
It is. No.
You know what I mean? They try to actually, if you notice that the Bitcoin is a gold coin, they're really trying to compare something fake to something that's real.
That's what they are trying to do. They are, for real. So in 2020, the firm launched Tether Gold, a gold-backed stablecoin backed by more than 7.7 tons of the precious metal. I don't like this. I'm going to tell you, we
don't need to digitize gold. Why does it need to be gold back? Why can't we just deal with gold?
You should own it. You should own it.
And as Lynette always says, if you don't hold it, you don't own it.
Tether's gold push comes as the Banco Central de Reserva, El Salvador's central bank, announced its first bullion purchase in 35 years, buying 14,000 troy ounces for $50 million, raising the country's holdings to 58,105 ounces, about $207 million. The central bank characterized the purchase as a diversification play for its $4.7 billion in foreign reserves. El Salvador has already accumulated more than 6,200 Bitcoin, now valued at $706 million, based on current prices. These moves suggest that large sovereign Bitcoin holders, such as El Salvador and major crypto industry names, including Tether, are beginning to frame gold as a complementary hedge, treating it less as a rival asset and more as a partner in diversification strategies. I'm going to say that if you are looking to be a short-term investor in something, Bitcoin is there. And I know a lot of people that have made money off Bitcoin. I also know this. Nothing is as good as it seems. And having seen somebody who invested in FTX lose their minds
destroyed
and lose everything, nothing is ever as good as it seems if you're trying to cheat and go around the system. And there are people who are cheating and going around the system with Bitcoin and even what I call the fake stock market. There's no reason why you should make money on a company on a whim of production. Oh my gosh, the stock price went up. We're going to invest, blah, blah, blah. No, if you're investing in a company, you should get dividends on what they make at the end of the year. But this whole idea of the stock market is speculation for men who don't want to work. That's what I say.
That is very well said. I would like to add, just to this specific conversation on the gold and the Bitcoin, and gold-backed Bitcoin. This is my question for everyone. If you have something that is gold backed, even if it's a fiat dollar, who has the gold?
And how do we know you have it?
Not only how do we know that you have it, but when the poop hits the fan, you can just keep it because you're the one. Let me hold your safe for you. Like, you got a safe. Let me hold it for you. That's why I don't believe in safety deposit boxes. You know, let me hold your safe for you. No, how about I hold my safe for me? You know? So I'm just sitting here like, the people that buy into this, I don't get it. Like, I truly do not understand. If you have resources, because here's what's so funny. Most of y'all ain't got nothing. Okay, you're sitting there going like, Leah Michelle, I couldn't buy a silver dollar if I okay. But for people that do have something, the idea that you would want to put it into something that you don't tangibly possess is, I really can't wrap my brain around that.
But for so many years, it has worked. I mean, you look at people who put money in their stock market and their portfolios grow. It's supposed to be I mean, these people are winning at cheating in many cases.
That's a good way
You
of
know what I
putting it.
mean? They're winning at cheating. At some point, the judgment of God will come and you're going to lose at cheating. But maybe you might go through your whole life. Like, I know some people who went their whole life winning at cheating. So and there's scriptures on that, by the way.
There are. Stuart the Brit says, I had a government crisis alert alarm on my phone today. That's the first time ever. Are they trying to spread fear? Sunday says that Augie wants to put the chickens to bed. It's not time for that, but of course, yes, he does. Ballistic Mystic says, Bitcoin is spinning money. Rumpelstiltskin is a fairy tale. Very well said. Oh my gosh.
What?
Well, my Facebook video had a blocked for some sort of music in the background.
Oh, could have been.
Yeah, it's weird.
All right, so let's go back to the UK.
This is today's big story because
not yet. I'm going back to Britain has its first female Muslim Home Secretary, which is retarded to me because how are you going to deport your friends? Okay, this is stupid. Shabana Mahmood, and you know what? I can't go to the UK. I know why, because I'm going to tell you that this is stupid. I'm going to tell you that no Muslim woman should be Home Secretary and trying to keep other Muslims out and trying to keep other invaders out because they're coming from Muslim countries. Duh. These are not people coming from Christian countries, okay? Or atheist countries. Mahmoud, a former pro-Palestinian activist, should not be in government, by the way, whose Pakistani parents migrated to England from Mirpur in the disputed Kashmir region, was tasked by Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer on Friday to run the Home Office. I closed down an article that said 8 in 10 Britons are not happy with how their country is being run.
No.
8 in 10, 80%, meaning all of you hate it. You hate your government, all of you. It came amid the forced Downing Street reshuffle. We're going to talk about this by the scandal-induced resignation of the former Deputy PM Angela Rayner over the socialist politician's failure to fully pay her property taxes on the purchase of her second home. So these socialists want your money to spend on all these migrants, but they are not paying their own taxes. That's the big story today, is that the Deputy Prime Minister, right under Keir Starmer, was not paying her own taxes. $40,000, because let me tell you how communists work. 40,000 pounds. Communists don't want to communize for themselves. They want everybody else's money. Do you understand how this works?
Yes.
The musical chairs resulted in former Home Secretary Yvette Cooper, who oversaw a record-setting pace of illegal channel crossings, being moved to the Foreign Office, and Justice Secretary Mahmood being elevated to the position of Home Secretary. Home Secretary is the person that's supposed to be in charge of keeping everybody safe and trying to keep these invaders out. While she has been portrayed so far as more hawkish on the border, of course, then Yvette refugees welcome Cooper. Mahmood's voting record demonstrates that she consistently opposed stricter border and asylum controls. And then Farage just tweeted this out yesterday in this Breitbart article, Michelle, where he says, your bad day just got even worse, Mahmood. Shocker.
on the first full day in office for the new Home Secretary, 1,000 people came over on migrant boats. This is like, if 2 people walk down my street, that's like, wow, 2 people walk down the street. 1,000? And how do you count them? That's insane. That's insane. 1,000 in one day. In one day. Based on internal chaos and mounting public anger over mass migration, Starmer has reportedly appointed Mahmoud with the brief to get tough. Currently, there are over 32,000 migrants being accommodated in more than 200 hotels across the country. This has sparked nationwide protests in the wake of a sexual assault of a 14-year-old girl by an Ethiopian migrant living in the Bell Hotel in Epping just days after crossing the channel illegally. Labor will also reportedly seek to ink a returns deal with Germany, as it has done so with France. The so-called one-in, one-out framework allows for the UK to send back illegal migrants to Paris in exchange for taking in allegedly vetted asylum seekers living in France.
Barry says, we as people actually measure wealth wrongly. Wealth should be measured both spiritually and in healthiness as well as happiness. I have all touch wood, so extremely rich in the true sense of the word. I think that was a typo word. And then he says, Mahmoud is going to cause serious problems in the Foreign Office. And Sherry says they are reassessing our home values. They will value them more and raise our taxes because they need to pay for all the migrants that they dumped on us. Sherry lives in Springfield, Ohio, where they have dumped a ton of migrants. Haitians up there. So that's crazy. He says, Barry says the biggest issue the Labor Party has is that Stalin Starmer has made David Lammy deputy PM. He's a complete thicko. Well, anybody that Starmer is going to put in as deputy PM in place of Angela Rayner is going to probably be
Do you have this video up? Nigel Farage is going to talk here about this Angela Rayner resigning here.
I downloaded it. We can just play it from my download.
You did? Because I don't remember sending it to you.
I got it because
Okay.
I wanted it for today. Oh, but that's right. I can't. Hang on, wait. Let me just drop it in here real quick. I don't know if you have it up or not, so I'll just get it from mine. Here we are.
Well, it was inevitable, wasn't it, really? You can't be housing secretary and avoid £40,000 worth of stamp duty. It's just as simple as that. So, in the last few minutes, Angela Rayner was gone, but not just as housing secretary. Now, more significantly, she's gone as deputy leader of the Labour Party and deputy prime minister. That means there will be an internal election within the Labour Party, and you're going to see the hard left of Labour shouting very, very loudly. For the last few years, the story has been splits within the Conservative Party. Mark my words, within weeks, it'll be splits within the Labour Party.
So that's it from Nigel.
Okay, so you can go to my Twitter, and the problem is that now that this Angela Rayner is out, you have David Lammy in. And I need to find the clip. He is so dumb. Like, he doesn't know any things. He doesn't know the things of all the things that you need to know in life. I'm going to see if I can refine that clip that Barry sent me. The Labor is like, to me, the absolute Z team.
We haven't seen a police while I've been here, and I've been here for a little while now. We haven't seen a police while I've been here, and I've been here for a little while now. We haven't seen a police while I've been here, and I've been here for a little while now.
Oh my gosh, and there's a police officer.
So for the podcast listeners, he's saying that, but there is a police officer in the camera shot under the bridge.
So I don't know if you can bring up this Instagram. I don't know how to share it with you.
Let me see.
I can try to
well, no,
tweet it
just
out.
let me know if it's up right now. I can probably find it.
Okay.
What's
So it's this David Lammy is now your deputy prime minister, and this was on what did you say it was, Barry? This is not AI. It actually happened on the celebrity game called The Mastermind, which is a game show that actually asks general knowledge questions about the UK and then has a specialist subject quiz the person answering the questions. And now he is the deputy prime minister.
Oh, wait, let me see the Instagram link again.
And want me just to tweet it out because you're not going to be able to type that in. No, I don't have to type in the whole thing. I just need to get. If you have it up, it should just show up, but it's not. Okay.
You want me to tweet it out?
Sure.
Okay. There we go. Grab this because I watched this and I was like, you've got to be kidding. You've got to be kidding. Like, he is now your deputy prime minister, like your vice president. This, like, the incompetency of labor. Like, Keir Starmer is not a smart person. Like, they're not even like wickedly smart. They're just incompetent. They are just exactly what you would think of from communists.
Married name of the scientists Marie and Pierre, who won the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1903 for their research into radiation.
Antoinette.
Curie. Which fortress was built in the 1370s to defend one of the gates of Paris and was later used as a state prison by Cardinal Richelieu.
Versailles.
The Bastille. James Gandolfini played a mafia boss called Tony in which American television series?
Godfather.
The Soprano. Which variety of blue English cheese traditionally accompanies port?
I don't know this one.
Leicester.
Stilton, who acceded to the English throne at the age of 9 on the death of his father Henry VIII in 1547?
Henry VII.
Edward VI. Which country's so-called Rose Revolution of 2003 led to the resignation of its president, Edward Shevardnadze?
Yugoslavia.
No, it was Georgia.
Stop it. He's going to say question. Okay.
Okay, but I've not seen that clip.
I'm not British, so I want to know how many of you knew those answers. All of them, like with the cheese. Like, I wouldn't have got the cheese.
I had Marie Curie. That was the only one, really. Here's the problem. Not the problem. This is my observation. I do want to come to this guy's defense. Almost every single one of his answers were so close. Not the Marie Antoinette,
so he can
that
lie.
was hilarious.
Antoinette.
But Marie, he was just like Marie, and then he just says it. But like they were all so close, yet so far away. Mastermind. Let's see. I don't know. We're out of time. I'm sorry that the Facebook thing. I will re-upload today's show on Facebook later. It looked like there was some sort of copyright issue that was causing a blockage. I don't know. It looks like it's live on my end right now, but that doesn't mean anything. But thank you for letting me know.
So the vice president who wants to raise your taxes, wants to use all your money, has had to resign because it was found that she did not pay property taxes.
Leah's putting this in American terms. She was not the vice president, but the deputy prime minister. So close.
Exactly. So the competency, I think the real story here is that the incompetency of the British government has gotten to the all new lows. But I think honestly what it does is it opens up the door for, and I'll just retweet this so you can see this, for Reform. So Reform has this giant conference, and that could have been another headline today, is that their numbers of Reform have now swollen to just massive, like they will be the next party if besides anything that happens. Right. So they had this huge conference this week.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah.
So that's even bigger news than this girl resigning, is like nobody has anywhere to go in the UK, and they actually really love politics. They love their local politics. They love local politicians. They really like being involved. OK. And so I think that there's a lot of high hopes for Reform UK. And I can just feel it. It's like, I just feel, don't mess it up, guys.
Nobody's going to mess it up.
I don't know.
I think there's a bit of frustration here that things were slightly overshadowed by events in Downing Street. But the big word of this conference, I think, is momentum, because Reform think they have it. They're doing really well in the polls, and they want to keep it by trying to set the political weather. Nigel Farage was saying in his big speech yesterday that he thinks the election could come early, in just a couple of years' time instead of 4 years' time, because of the trouble the government is facing over the economy. It was interesting, though, Charlie, because I think that the more Reform top the polls, the more scrutiny they are going to get over policy, over direction, over how they're going to pay for stuff. There was a bit of an issue yesterday with the deputy leader, Richard Tice, saying that the party might have to rethink all its pledges to cut tax that it made at the last general election. But Nigel Farage made two really big promises in his speech that I think will be really heavily scrutinised. One, he said that there would be significant welfare cuts under Reform. I think a lot of people will want to know Where's that going to fall? Who's going to lose out? How much would it save? How controversial would it be? He also said that reform would be able to stop the boats, small boats crossing the channel, in just 2 weeks if they became the government. Now, you remember that both the Conservatives and Labour made pretty bold pledges on stopping the boats and found it almost impossible to deliver. So there are some big pledges coming from here. There's definitely a sense of excitement. There's a sense of momentum, but there are also big questions Reform are going to face about policy, how they'll pay for it, and how they'll do what they promise.
All right, so I'm going to play
Turmoil
this.
in British politics today as the UK's Deputy Prime Minister is forced to resign, prompting a massive reshuffle of Keir Starmer's cabinet. Angela Rayner, who also served as the Housing Secretary, referring herself to the Independent Ethics Advisor after admitting to not paying enough stamp duty tax on a personal property. Ms Rayner had been tipped as a future Prime Minister, but was found to have breached the Ministerial Code of Conduct, triggering a change in several senior ministerial positions.
Mr Speaker, let me put this to him simply. If it was a police officer, a teacher, a doctor, we would expect the independent process to be followed and not changed after the verdict. It's one rule for them and one rule for the rest of us.
An outspoken and unconventional politician, Angela Rayner was never afraid of taking the fight to her opponents.
They're using the rules as it seems fit for them, and actually now people are seeing it's one rule for them and one rule for everybody else. It's a disgrace what they've done. They've undermined Parliament, they've undermined our democracy.
But a row over property tax found her on the receiving end of difficult questions.
But just to be clear, you've referred yourself to the Standards Commissioner, you've contacted the tax revenue and said you could be liable for more tax. Do you think your position, Angie Rayner, even though you've explained it, do you think it's sustainable? Do you think you can carry on as particularly Housing Minister?
Well, I made a mistake based upon the advice that I relied upon. Hopefully most people can see if you rely on advice given to you by lawyers and you follow that process and then you find out that that process is wrong and that advice was wrong, I'm rectifying it at the earliest opportunity.
Angela Rayner's route to the top of government was an unusual one. Born in Stockport, she left school at 16 whilst pregnant and with no qualifications. After training in social care, she became a union official before then joining Labour. First elected to the Greater Manchester seat of Ashton-under-Lyne in 2015, Angela Rayner was appointed Shadow Education Secretary a year later. Tipped as a leadership candidate, Angela Rayner instead ran and was elected as Labour deputy to Sir Keir Starmer after 2019's election loss. After initially handing her a string of shadow cabinet job titles, Sir Keir attempted to demote her after disappointing local election results in 2021. But she resisted, won the power struggle that followed, and was handed an even bigger job, solidifying her position as a popular and influential voice on the left of the party. She sometimes went too far and was criticised that year for calling Conservatives scum.
You said last night, we cannot get any worse than a bunch of scum, homophobic, racist, misogynist, absolute pile of banana republic, Etonian piece of scum. Is that the kind of civility that the Starmer-Rayner Labour Party envisages?
Well, look, that was post-watershed, as we'd say, with a group of activists at an event last night.
She eventually apologised for those comments, but still didn't shy away from confrontation in the Commons.
Mr Speaker, I know that it's great to be here with the Right Honourable Lady, the Shadow Secretary of State, for the future of work. We know the future of the job that she has in mind.
Mr Speaker, I've heard on the grapevine there might be a vacancy for Prime Minister soon, so maybe I should have aspirations.
But questions about her property arrangements started to emerge even before the election. Inquiries by the police and the tax office into homes she owned in the northwest seemed to put her in the clear. It was the purchase of a flat on the south coast that proved her undoing, though. A politician widely thought of as a potential successor to Sir Keir Starmer, brought down by the type of scandal she had so often called out. Rob Powell, Sky News in Westminster.
So I felt like that was a really good, kind of summary, but I just find it hilarious that these people on the left consistently call out real corruption on the right. Okay, they do. But they are all guilty of doing the same thing.
I know.
They do. They all, and you know what really gets me?
What?
She's got all these multiple properties. What do you mean when she delivers these speeches like they've got one roof for them and one roof for the rest of us? Like what? The rest of us what? Like what are you? How are you a part of the rest of us?
So I want to end the show. I want to go to Country Life Vlog and I want to see the Turkish simit pied that they're going to make here. And this is how we're going to end our show because I want to end on something happy and these women are working together and I love it. And I want everybody to go and make this when we're done watching it.
We're going to watch the whole thing?
We're going to do how we do.
Okay.
We're going to kind of, you know, watch how we, you know.
This is the part where the podcast listeners are like, you're out. No, but you're not out. We'll watch it for real,
Where is it? You know, I'm hearing it. I'm not seeing it.
I know.
Are they seeing it? They're seeing it.
They're
No.
not.
Okay.
They're not.
Okay. This is my favorite YouTube channel.
Let me try a different.
Actually, I wanted to do this one, by the way.
Which one?
This one.
That's the one I had up. That's the one you had up. Okay, so it's a different one anyway.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. This is just the one you had up.
Yep.
All right.
I think, yeah, I had a couple up, but I thought that this was from a month ago.
Oh.
You have to go to my history.
No, it should just
there. Okay. This one right here.
Okay.
There we go. Try again.
Let me try and grab a different link and see if it'll work better.
I love these ladies. We have their cookbook. Oh my God. There's the cat. And they're beautiful building. Oh my gosh. What time of year is this? Where's he got? What's he got?
Flowers.
Aww.
Shad Dog Mountains in Azerbaijan.
That's going to get you some exercise.
100%. So only the filmography of Azerbaijan can showcase a fly near an apple and it looked picturesque.
This is the kitchen, man. This is
this
the kitchen.
So do you think this is her sister?
I don't know. But they have a mill in their community. And they make the finest flour. And then they have the sifter. And here's the thing.
I just asked you if that was her sister.
I don't know. Did it say?
No, it was a joke.
Oh, okay.
Sifter.
The people in the Caucasus Mountains live the longest, like in the world.
Literally, they're the oldest living people.
And I think it's how they prepare their food, how they live their life. Not like we get obsessed with organic versus and it's not. This is what people don't understand. You can start skipping through a little bit because it's 36 minutes.
The scenery, though.
Yeah, because that's where they live, and it fills their soul.
My soul is
and just
filled.
just like picking the flowers is going to be healthy for you.
He's usually going to make a tea out of these things. Okay, so they're making a dough. They're so strong. Could you imagine? Like, I don't feel like my hands are strong. I have to cut all my fingernails off to do what they're doing, actually.
Slap some. Here we go. Put a little flour on there. Not most flour you would think you roll in a grease bowl, but they don't. They let it. Oh my gosh! It's like Lord of the Rings or something.
I know.
You can keep going.
Oh, there's a cow. Which cow? Oh, baby cow.
Aw, little calf.
The inside of the kitchen. I keep trying to find this enamelware.
Mm-hmm.
Like if anybody finds really nice enamelware with like the flowers in the pots.
So
and
we're
stuff
getting
like
the
that,
wood burning stove going.
You. I need more.
I have a pile
like
of bricks.
That.
We need a wood burning stove, just like this.
This is an outdoor one. But you know what always gets me? This garlic are always out there, and I'm like, they've got to be getting wet and rained on.
I don't know.
And you know what stays in that pot? Matches. Her matches are in there, which I love. Look how like strong her hands are.
Oh, I know.
It's Proverbs 31 at its finest.
Yeah.
Watching this woman work here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Place I would like to live. This is I would like to live.
look at how they make hay. Wow. For the podcast listeners, it's just a giant truck with like hay slapped on it.
All the flowers that they grow though in
They
the
do
greenhouse.
a really good job. There's the little Jack Russell eating a snack with the tail wagging. All right, we need to get back to the
They've added
kitchen.
more like scenery.
Here we are. We're getting back to the kitchen in a second.
To their recipes. You know?
Right, exactly.
That one a little bit longer.
Was that pork? That looks like pork. Definitely looks like pork.
It kind of does.
It's too pinky to be beef.
She slaps it around. Those knives, though, oh my gosh.
I think they sell them.
They're just so sharp and big.
So remind me, I want to have Matt sharpen the knives before our butcher day. Yeah, all the knives. There's Uncle Jack.
Oh, here we come. We're making a hamburger. Boom, boom, boom.
She literally makes her own.
This is how we do. This is how we
giant
make the hamburger. It must be easier than the grinder, right? Just boom. It's just more satisfying too. You got a little anger that day, and she's just gonna watch for a little bit. We'll get to. I'll get you to help me in a second.
Yeah, throw him his toy. There you go. It's so beautiful. Oh, there's the bowl of the mincemeat. It's why it's called mincemeat.
Yeah.
By the way.
Mm-hmm. You can fast forward a little bit more. We'll get to it. Oh man.
Wait, when did they get running water?
Oh,
cleaning their peppers.
When did they get running water in there?
I don't know. That's awesome though. Here we're putting our hay in our regular hay piles for them to dry out. That's so much work.
Mm-hmm. But it's satisfying. You know.
They have a lot of animals to feed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's going inside of them? He's sitting. Look at this. It's so picturesque.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's our mincemeat. Are those peppers or tomatoes?
Those are. That's a good question.
I keep missing the food prep.
I know.
In my fast forwarding. Here we go. I'm gonna go here. So we're cleaning out
banana peppers. Like. I'm gonna chop these.
Chop them. The kitchen is just like the most gorgeous kitchen ever.
She's so fast.
She's really fast. Sherry says, I would love an outdoor kitchen like that. Me too, Sherry. We all would.
It's an indoor-outdoor.
It is. It's like open.
So she has an outdoor one too, but she likes, this one's the best. And it's like the temperature is like the same all year round.
No,
like,
they get snow.
I know, but like it feels like they don't wear any different clothing too much.
Well, yeah.
You know?
No, I want to see him. What is he doing? He's hoeing.
What kind of plant is that?
It looks like a potato.
No. It looks like a potato.
It looked like a potato with flowers on it. Yes, it did.
I don't know.
I'm gonna rewind. Gail says those knives would scare off any bad guys.
Okay, so here's the dough that was resting. Her favorite kind of dough. It's not a yeasty dough. It didn't rise.
It's like the consistency of a pretzel, which I don't actually
Well, no,
like.
that looks like it did kind of rise. So I don't know.
It does. I've made her dough before.
You add yeast? Because that rose.
Well, I don't remember if you add yeast or not. It does rise though. It might have.
We missed the part whether she added yeast to that or not.
That's the same dough that she always does. I've seen her work with this dough so many times.
You do that. You do those. I'll do these. Boom, boom, boom. Come on, woman, go faster. Boom. Wow.
See, those are potatoes. You wouldn't know potatoes though. Those definitely look like potato plants.
They do,
like
yeah.
Haha. What do I get?
A prize.
I want a prize.
You can have it. Okay, we gotta pop through a little bit here.
Oh, cheese.
Oh.
That's a nice
So we've
kind
got
of
the
cheese.
mincemeat, the peppers, and like a lot of cheese is coming in. Oh, lots.
Oh my goodness. It just says hard cheese. It doesn't say what kind. That's so much cheese. Do you know how long it takes to make a hard cheese? By the way.
Yeah.
Salt and
pepper.
black pepper. Here's your pepper. We're gonna mix it. So they do. There he is. Now those look like
Cabbages.
We took the time to paint. Oh, that looks. No, that's not painting. That's actual. That's real.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they do a lot of stuffing of things.
Yeah.
It's their favorite thing to do, by the way,
Mhm.
which is what I made with the cookbook.
Mhm.
I actually
get their
really
cookbook
liked
on
what you
Amazon.
made.
Ooh, cheese.
Cheese. I didn't have cheese in mine. Whatever this is looks amazing. A hard cheese. That's a lot of cheese.
Mhm.
Hey. Wait, what? What?
Interesting.
Is that going to be like?
Where's the meat going to go?
Where's the meat going? Hang on, lady.
We're going to do a thing here. This is called Turkish simit.
It says
Pied.
crispy outside, soft inside. Are we going to fry it?
Whoa.
I literally want to go make a fried pie right now.
This is weird. I've never seen anything like this. Okay, just like it's like a, I don't know.
We're stuffing dough with cheese.
Just cheese. Never seen cheese stuffed dough before. So we're gonna.
Are these gonna be like breadsticks with cheese inside?
Interesting. I don't.
I want to go make breadsticks with cheese inside now.
I do need to know where this is going.
I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Because there's a lot of these too.
Whoa.
Many of them. How do you know how many you need to make? You know? Because that looks like
so much
50.
cheese.
Looks like a lot of them.
They're the inventors of the stuffed crust pizza.
Like they're pinching it the same way. So it's obviously a thing, right?
What's that?
Mulberry syrup.
No.
Mulberry syrup.
Why are we doing something sweet? You're freaking me out. Don't.
Water.
No.
It's like a blackberry syrup, right?
We're just making a sweet water.
I don't know yet.
What's gonna happen next? There's the chicken. Okay, what's that? Sesame seeds?
Okay.
Okay. That's a lot. That was a lot of sesame seeds, lady. Okay, wait. No, you just dumping that in this sugar water? She's dunking cheese in a sugar water and oh! Leah?
That is so amazing. That is sesame seedy. Like that is like if you needed to use you had like I got on sale like
water with your dough.
They are the professionals, so let's not question them.
I'm questioning.
Parchment paper. It's going to be going into the oven.
I'm so questioning this.
Okay. This isn't. I don't. Just if you got a deal on sesame seeds,
Leah.
This is what you would do.
Okay, wait.
What is happening?
They're putting the meat on and the meat mixture on top. They're making a boat. They're cutting it open.
It feels like this kind of why wouldn't you put it in? Why wouldn't you put it in during? No, you don't. Not during.
Never in my born days.
Interesting.
No.
I'd like to ask them what the water mulberry mixture is doing. It had to do something, right? They're not frying it.
I hope they fry it, but
no,
they can't now.
They're going straight into the oven. Interesting. Okay, we gotta get to the end.
I'm so sorry. Okay, so we're putting them in the oven. They're her giant like pizza oven, which is bigger than. I mean, I think you could live in there. It's so big.
Okay, now we gotta see him come out.
Oh, man.
Wow.
It's just meat in a boat of cheese. Why didn't they title that? Meat and peppers in a boat of cheese and bread. In a bread cheesy what?
But I would eat that. I'd eat it right now.
I would eat it right now in my belly.
I'd eat it all day. I would eat that. And here we go. I want to see him eat it.
This once, I want us to try, like we could do this. Although I don't know what kind of dough. It's a very flat dough. It's got to be a pizza. It's got to be the pretzel dough because it's a flat pizza bread.
I think we could make a pizza dough. Any kind of pizza dough. And it would work.
Yeah. Look how many there are. Look how many. How many? They're feeding the whole village.
Yeah.
They're not going to be warm by the time they're like, look, there's like 8,000 of these. Like, they must have made 100 of them.
That parchment paper really does the trick, though. You're going to have to let it play till we see him sit down and eat it with her husband. Okay.
What?
Milk. Break it in half. Give us this day our daily bread. You know, I truly would rather live with this community than the super skinny, keto in shape people.
You ain't got to be keto.
I don't want the Instagram model to be my friend.
No.
I want these women to be my friend.
I want them to
I
feed
want
me.
to live life with them.
Yeah.
I want to do flowers with them, and I don't want to do They don't have to do Botox.
Yeah.
And they're living and they're eating and they're healthy.
And you know what? They're the other H. They're happy.
They're happy, man.
They're happy.
Why is it that I have to see, like, you know what pops up in my Facebook feed?
What?
Is like super girls with super abs with their little sports bras on, and will show you that you can eat one thing of Ben and Jerry's for 1,300 calories, or you can eat fat-free yogurt and her little, 2 bananas and like 5 different things. So like telling you, don't go for the Ben and Jerry's. I don't like Ben and Jerry's ice cream anyways, but don't go for this, but you can go for like this 6 things. And like, it keeps coming up on my feed. Like you could eat like this salad and this avocado, but if you add this, it's going to be too much. Or like this one girl's like, if you just eat less peanut butter, you can have more bananas. And it's like, these women just eat. They're not like counting the calories on the Turkish, there's no calorie or fat grams on the Turkish simit pie. And you know what else it doesn't have here? Carbs. Carb counts. Because you know what? They live on carbs over there.
They do.
Carbs are their friend, and I love them for it. It
Yes.
used to be a thing, like, give us this day our daily bread, and now people are like, you're evil for eating bread. Somebody just posted, don't eat oatmeal, it's toxic, it's horrible for you. And I'm just like, you're horrible for me. Because toxic, you know what? Oatmeal is good for you. I just know it because it tastes a little bit weird, but when I use it, and I eat it, I feel healthy. So don't tell me that it's not good for me, because I can feel it
right now.
So I need to go make something. Because the only thing we have, I have freshly ground wheat.
Boat.
I have freshly ground wheat. We're going to go make a cheese boat right now.
Make a cheese boat.
I got jalapenos out in the garden.
You lost me. So jalapeno poppers are good though, which we never make those.
I love these women. These are my kind of people. So they don't have to, they're not like Botoxed. They're taking the, you don't have
look good like that. That just made me look infinitely
They're taking
worse.
a hatchet to all the things and a meat mallet to all the things, and I love them, and that's real life to me. Okay,
it's the song of your people.
And then there's these stupid people on Twitter like, oh, your wife got fat, and that's why, if she'd stay skinny, then maybe you wouldn't have needed to leave her. And I'm just like, oh, people say it all the time on Twitter. They're so evil. Like, everybody is obsessed with thin in shape people rather than just hardworking, healthy people. That's what I want. I want I want to be part of a community of people that like, oh my, I don't want to be around people like for a long period of time that can't eat bread. So I understand that the people can't eat bread, but like in general, as like a community, I want to sit down with people who will eat bread and not worry about their weight.
We need to tell Sally that she needs to come to our chicken butchering for one reason.
Gotta bring the bread, Sally.
Sally
oh
brought
my
the
gosh.
bread last time.
Oh my gosh, the jalapeno cheese
sourdough.
sourdough. I think she sold or gave away all of her stuff. She gave up on it. Made me so sad. Yes. Sourdough Sally. She couldn't get it going.
Like
but she was so good at it. She was legit top 10. It was sourdough.
100%.
She was better than any professional bread I have ever eaten in my entire life. It was that good.
Jules says the obsession with thin women goes back to Kinsey. Very well said. Okay, so a couple of announcements. Leah, that was such a great show. Good job.
Eat bread.
Announcement number 1 is eat bread. Stop with the not. I get that there are those of you that have celiacs. I get that there's those of you that are just silly acts and don't really have it. You just don't want to eat bread and you pretend that you can't eat bread.
You know what I found? I did find that they lied to me about protein.
Who's they?
Everyone, the government. It is. Yeah, it was on the table.
Okay.
Is this yours? You had it on the table?
I did.
Michelle, I saw this.
No, but you were going to finish your sentence.
On the counter, and I grabbed it. I put it on because I don't have one because I gave mine away. Yeah, I was thinking the other day on like how I would get the vegetarian version of the Chipotle, or I always skimped on meat for the past like 20 years. I've skimped on meat because I thought, well, it's less calories coming into you because that's what they're saying. And everybody's saying you don't really need meat. You don't need to eat meat. And so I kind of feel like protein wise, I'm on a catch up tour, and I don't know if I can catch up, but I have been on a catch up tour, and I haven't noticed, like, I just feel like you will be healthier if you eat the protein, and I feel like your body will naturally kind of balance out. Like you don't have to cut out bread, or I haven't found that you have to cut out bread or fruit or anything to add in the protein. Just add in the protein.
So I told this to Leah the other day.
Eat meat.
When I eat a meal that is mostly meat, which
and meat has always been traditionally more
I was getting ready
expensive.
To say that.
So like
it's expensive, but now that we raise our own chickens, this is why we do this, so that we can afford to eat a lot of meat. We raise our own pigs so that we can afford to eat a lot of meat. The only thing that we spend money on is the beef, really. And even that is not expensive.
I feel like I haven't eaten in a while because now I feel like I need to eat all the things. I'm going to go out two more chickens. I want to do fried chicken again because Michelle made these 2 giant fried chickens. And that was a weird tasting ingredient she added.
I added onion powder. I've never tried it before. It made it taste terrible.
But we're going to do it again. And I was like, I don't feel like I got enough of that fried chicken. But it's oven baked chicken, not really fried.
So my whole life, like if we were going to do something, we always did meat on a small scale to save money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But we've been upping our meat intake lately, mostly because my 2 best friends are obsessed with protein. And that's not why, but like it influenced me.
Love hamburger. Like I could eat hamburger all day, every day for every meal.
When I eat a meal of mostly meat, I find my lymphatic system really flushes. I'll be peeing a lot and I'm losing a lot of water weight. I don't know what that is exactly, but it works.
I was always kind of taught that meat is your like side, like you're only supposed to eat just a little bit and then eat all the other things.
Like you listen to eat like 2 ounces of protein. I'm like, no, eat a whole meal of meat if you want, if you can afford it. You know, although I love vegetables. I genuinely love vegetables. My favorite meal probably on planet Earth is stir fry rice and vegetables.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think that we're just getting back to more balanced things and being led by the Holy Spirit and what you can afford and what is available. You know, chicken is easy for us to raise, inexpensive for us to raise.
I'll tell you what, meat is a lot easier to do than a garden. I'm just gonna be honest. Like God, like we were talking about earlier with the grass. God put the grass out there. You put the animal on the grass. You butcher the animal. Yes, there are some losses involved, but man, like gardens are not as easy as, at least in our area, as easy as you would think. Now we do it, and we're getting this is their year for tomatoes. Every year we have something that just does well, and in the past it has not been tomatoes. This year it has been tomatoes.
So good.
Don't know why, but we've been eating a lot of tomatoes, and we've been selling a lot of tomatoes at our farm stand. We've been giving tomatoes away. We haven't been doing a ton of preserving, mostly because we've really gotten hooked on dehydrating, and my dehydrator.
And this is the first year we actually really did our farm stand and sold our stuff.
Right.
But so next year I think I'm going to have to preserve some. But, you know, when you get overwhelmed, like we have a ton of stuff in our basement, you kind of got to go through it. And then start over again.
Right. So we do have a lot of stuff that needs to be eaten.
And so like for the past 3 or 4 years, we've just been like storing it up.
Right.
And now, you know.
Yeah. Whoa, what's going on with our coloring here? Okay. So, Leah, tell them about the chicken butchering again this weekend.
1 to 7, email us. How do we get there? How do they do that?
resistancechicks.com/chicken workshop 2025.
Okay. And yeah, just bring a side dish if you want. I'm probably not going to make you guys butcher all the chickens this time. So we'll be, it'll be a little bit more of a fellowshipy thing. But it will be some work, so be prepared to do some chicken butchering and some working. Our neighbors came over with their daughters, and they left kind of pretty quickly. They learned and they left. Their daughters were a little bit sick to their stomach, but most everybody gets involved and enjoys doing it. So we're going to try to keep all stations running smoothly, and hopefully we'll make sure everything is up and running and ready to go when you get here.
Amen. Where Edgy Time says it's a good time to rotate your stock and maybe trade with someone in your community. I love that.
Good.
That's awesome. Okay, so the other announcements that I have besides
Tomorrow
that,
night?
which is huge, tomorrow night we're going to have Amanda Grace on with us live. Please pray for the technology that everything goes well. But be on the lookout for later today. I will have that posted and shared probably around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you guys can share that with everybody that you know. Say, hey, come and join. Amanda Grace is going to be on with Resistance Chicks. I would love it if you did that. So very much looking forward to having her on our program again. Again, this is going to be live. We've never had Amanda on live before like this. So that's an exciting new development. Next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, we will have Gary DeMar on our program. That will be a pre-record, but please put it on your calendars because I want you guys to tune in and you can converse with each other and myself in the chat. So next Wednesday on Revelation Red Pill, Gary DeMar in the house, which is super exciting. That following weekend, the 19th, 20th, and 21st, we're going to not be doing a Friday show or a Sunday show. You guys get the weekend off because we're going to be at the Owensville Fairgrounds right here just outside of Cincinnati with the Resistance Chicks General Store. So very excited about that. It's going to be a 3-day event. We'll try to do a couple of live videos. Leah will actually be with me this time, which she wasn't able to come last time because she was with Uncle Jack in the hospital. So this is really exciting. I love taking the General Store on the road, and I love people being able to, like, in time, try the products, smell them, like the healing for the soul that Leah was talking about here. I have made a fresh batch of these, so feel free to go on the store and stock up on anything ahead of time. And what I mean by ahead of time is I am slightly worried about Christmas. We will be doing another Black Friday and, Cyber Monday sale like we did last year. You guys are amazing, but you almost laid us out.
Well, no, honestly, I think what happened was our tech wasn't working right. And so once we got that going, we could do it.
Right.
But
it was a lot. So I'm just saying, we're going to be spending October stocking up in preparation for November because we're also doing another show in November. Or 2, possibly. We'll see. Another show in November that's going to be like a 4-week show where our products just stay there.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have a launch night at Grant's Farm, which is super exciting. We may do the mustard seed market that weekend as well. I'm not sure. I haven't decided. But we're going to have to be stocking up on a lot of product. Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is if you would like to get Christmas presents ahead of time, feel free to do that now. But we will be doing sales. So you can also wait for those too. But shop.resistancechicks.com, shop.resistancechicks.com. I am hoping to start making some eye pillows in the next week or so from Marjorie's silks and did she send us satins?
No satins.
So she sent silks and cottons. So if you guys remember that opening that we did of all of her amazing dyed products, fabrics that she does, and they're amazing because it's real silk, real cottons, just awesome stuff. I'm going to make some eye pillows out of that. So I'm going to take some to the show and I'm going to make them available online on the store. So I'm really excited about that. Where Edge of Time says, time to put on the armor of God and get to work. Thanks, ladies. That's awesome. You guys are amazing. Rumble hasn't dropped once, Michelle. Sojourn, doing something right. So you're doing something. Thank you. Well done. Great show. You're amazing. Thank you to all of our donors, everybody that prays for us, all of our moderators in the chat. You guys are amazing. I love getting all of your messages. If I haven't responded, it's probably because I'm a little backed up, but I'm hoping to catch up on that soon. But I just want to say God bless each and every single one of you. And while I was getting ready today, and this is going to just take 1 second because this is important because I almost forgot about this. And I felt like the Lord's tell me while I was getting ready that there was going to be somebody that was tuning in today that keeps saying, you guys keep talking about Jesus. I don't really know how to make that step.
Oh,
and
wow.
so the Lord just was really impressing on my heart that there was somebody that was ready to just give their lives over to him today. So if that is you and you have been thinking, I really feel like I want to have that relationship that you keep talking about with the creator of the universe, it's not just about a prayer. It's about a life change. But that prayer that we're going to pray here collectively on the show, it's that spark where you invite Jesus to come in and take over your life. And you give him the reins and he becomes the driver and he becomes the, you know, the buck stops with God. Essentially, you want to give up your own plans and you say, I surrender my life to you. So if that's you, I want you to pray this prayer with me. Dear Heavenly Father, I believe that your son Jesus died on the cross and rose again to save me from my sins. And I want to invite him to come into my life and to come into my heart and to become a part of everything that I am. So Jesus, be Lord of my life. I thank you that you are my Savior. And I thank you that I have a wonderful future ahead. That I am a part of the great cloud of witnesses. I'm a part of the family of Jesus. And that I have eternal salvation. And a hope that will never die. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So if you have prayed that prayer with us, welcome to the family of not just Christians, but God is the creator of the universe. You and I are that creation. We are part of that creation. And when we step back in alignment with that and back into that covenant with God, everything changes. And everything about who you are, I have goosebumps on my head. Everything about who you are changes from this moment on. You have become a new creature. The Bible says that you have become born again. That means you get a whole second chance. All of the things that happened in the past, all of the sins that you did in the past, Jesus has redeemed them. He has made them null and void. They are gone.
Amen.
Okay, you are repentant from your sins. They have been washed clean, and you get that everybody wants that mulligan of life.
Amen.
Well, this is so much more than that. It's so much more than that. It's a completely new transformation. You are a new being, and you get to walk moving forward knowing that you have the hope of eternal salvation and being a part of something that is so much greater than you can possibly ever imagine.
Amen.
So I wanted to do that at the end of today's show because the Lord, while I was putting on my makeup and I felt like the Lord impressed that there was going to be somebody at the end of the show. So if that's you, send me an email. And I would love to hear from you guys. massfaith33@gmail.com. If you would like to send us your letters, you can tell us about it in a letter. P.O. Box 107, Milford, Ohio 45150. Hey guys, remember, it's not just a conspiracy theory. If it's actually the truth, we love you. God loves you. God bless. And we will see you next time right here from resistancechicks.com. That will be tomorrow night, as in next time, 8 p.m. on the dot. We will be on time with Amanda Grace live for the Outliers. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.